Welcome into a Monday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, powered and driven by Go Chevrolet, as we are every single day here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment button if you don't mind as you start off your week and your Monday here with us. Lots to get to over the next 2 hours as we will talk to LSU safety Major Burns. We'll ask him about his prognosis and his rehab as he gets ready for another football season with LSU. He is out this spring, but is dealing with a little rehabilitation with a lower leg injury that he got back during the offseason. We will talk to Major Burns about that coming up here at 8 a.m. this morning. We'll also talk to him about some of the new things that's happening with the LSU football program under the direction of head coach Brian Kelly, some of the leadership programs that are being installed and instituted right now. All of that discussion coming up with Burns at 9 a.m. this morning. The Final Four over the weekend. What a magnificent two games, really, that set up tonight's national championship inside the Louisiana Superdome, the Caesars Palace Superdome. We will talk about that coming up here before we get out of here at 9 a.m. this morning. LSU baseball continues to struggle in the field, which cost them another series, 2 out of 3 taken by Auburn over the weekend. We will talk about the LSU baseball team, and LSU basketball loses their final player that we thought going into the weekend was going to stick in Moani Wilkinson, pledged towards the transfer portal. So we'll talk about some of the challenges that Matt McMahon has coming up here in rebuilding that roster and rebuilding the program before we get out of here at 9 a.m. this morning. A full open practice for the media members on Saturday morning for LSU football as Brian Kelly opened up the gates to the practice field over on LSU's campus and gave all the media members a chance to look inside of his practices to get an idea of just how they flow, how they roll, some of the things that they work on in late game situations or practice game situations for the game. A lot of cool stuff. Both of our correspondents, Stewie and Noah, who are out there, will at some point be here. I know Stewie's got a test this morning and won't be live, but we'll talk to a couple of our correspondents coming up here. And as we said, we'll talk to Major Burns coming up here at 9 a.m. this morning. As we said, we appreciate everybody being here to start the week with us. If you don't mind, just hit that like button, that share button, that comment button. That will tremendously help us out as we get started here on another week of content here at FM Digital Media and the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure you're following all of our properties. FM Food on Instagram. FM Outdoors is out there as well. But, of course, the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Mic'd Up coming your way at 11 o'clock this morning. It was good to see Mic'd Up over at Uncle Earl's on Friday afternoon, one of our newest sponsors and partners, as Mic'd Up will originate every Friday from 3:30 to 5:30, getting you set up for the weekends and LSU baseball and everything, and recapping the week each Friday. So make sure you log that down and make a note to join us. Closing out each business week over at Uncle Earl's on Perkins Road in between Acadian and College Drive. Light studio this morning. Everybody's sleeping in on this Monday. Nobody here except for Lizzie.
Didn't know that was an option.
I didn't either.
Okay.
I didn't either.
Team meeting today.
I didn't either. How are we feeling, buddy? How was the weekend?
Excellent. Got to visit, got to go down to A-Town for the weekend. Okay. So, nice to get to the old stomping ground, see my daughter. She was fine, remembered me. It was all good.
Okay.
Yep. Got 9 lives. Yeah. Only going to waste one of them.
Yeah, that's right. Everything good? It's Friday at Uncle Earl's?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Got to tap into the old bar tab there. Always excellent service at the old Uncle Earl's. We had a little bathroom situation where the woman's bathroom flooded. We thought it was our fault. Not our fault. Nobody was in there. It just seemed a little what does Barker Brothers call it? Little backflow?
Yeah, backflow.
Little backflow. So we had to, right next to the equipment, had to stop that up, and then we got rolling.
I know that BG Lanois, who's the owner of Uncle Earl's Bar, is an avid supporter of Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works on the West Bank. So make sure that you call our friend Jude Barker and everybody over at Barker Brothers Plumbing and Plumbing and Works this morning if you need any of their services. And as Lizzie said, one of them is backflow prevention that they can help you with. But they specialize in all works of plumbing. That's industrial and commercial. They are number one in a number two business. Call them this morning at 776-2431. If you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, you get a 15% discount on your bottom line. We'll tell our friends over at Uncle Earl's to make sure that they got Jude Barker and Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works number on speed dial if they ever need them. Daily, remember, we're brought to you by Go Chevrolet. Our water is provided by True Blue Water, TRUBluewater.com. Our official spice is Papa Earl's, 30% less sodium than the competition. Make sure you shop our guy anywhere locally. You pick up your groceries. Pick up a can of Papa Earl's for your kitchen today. And Metropolitan Health Group, real doctors, real solutions. Our friends Charlie Harvey and Jason Ramazan over at Metropolitan Health Group helping us get set up every day here, bringing the phone line. And as we said, Major Burns, LSU safety, will be here at 8 a.m. this morning, giving us the latest on LSU football. Let's start with the Final Four. I thought that the weekend down in New Orleans, it was really setting up to be a classic weekend, right? When you knew that the Elite Eight had wrapped up 2 weeks ago and you had Duke and North Carolina as a featured game in the Final Four, you knew that there was going to be a real big buzz around the Final Four down in New Orleans. And I got to be honest, in watching those two games, and we were down in Pensacola this weekend, I'd have loved to have been a part of the Final Four and everything that was going on down in New Orleans, but we'll just talk about it from our point of view. First off, the games were fantastic. And I think that, from the people that I spoke to, everything around the city and everything in New Orleans and all of what goes in and around an event like the Final Four or anything that the city can host like that, a big event, as always, a lot of great remarks, a lot of great time, a lot of great stuff that was put on by the city. People were kind of moving around all over the place. And from all reports, New Orleans once again has flexed its muscles as one of really the best, one of the greatest host cities for sporting events. For the sake of this conversation, I know that a lot of businesses bring their conventions and conferences down to the city just because of the entertainment value. But as far as the sports host city that New Orleans is, obviously we are very biased, but we have made the championship sporting circuit and been around a little bit, whether it be Dallas, Atlanta, some of the places that have host championship games and events. And nobody really does it like New Orleans. And I think it's very unique because of the way that the city is set up, right? Everything you can accomplish by foot traffic, by walking. You can stay in your hotel, you can get something to eat, you can get to the game all in a pretty in a very convenient radius in New Orleans. Obviously the entertainment and the culture play into the overall hospitality of the city. But once again, New Orleans shows why, for events like this, that it is really a great choice. It's a great selection as far as being on, just one of the cities that's in the turnstile that is routinely considered for events like this. Everything that we've heard has just been very glowing. Now, on the floor, This is going to be remembered as, in my opinion, one of the most entertaining weekends in college basketball in a long time. I'm not here to speak in hyperbole and say best ever or best of all time. I don't have the history recognition or don't have the history references to make a statement like that. I just know, speaking in the moment and seeing what we really saw come to an end this weekend in Mike Krzyzewski's coaching career at Duke in a instant classic game was about as much as you could have asked for in New Orleans, having and being the backdrop to Saturday, right? It sets up tonight, and Kansas and North Carolina will play for a national championship. But I think, barring some just mega classic game tonight between these two teams, I think that you will remember Saturday. And Saturday for me was really cool in just watching those games. Now, obviously, Kansas and Villanova was the undercard, right? I mean, without Justin Moore and Villanova's lineup, they're a totally different team. And Villanova really could have used Moore on Saturday. Moore, I thought, for his defensive effort, because Villanova offensively really was hanging around. Credit Jay Wright for coming out with the small lineup and kind of throwing Kansas off a little bit and trying to find their footing. But both teams combined, I don't know if we will remember this when we get away from this weekend, but the opening semifinal game between Kansas and Villanova, set an NCAA Final Four record for most three-pointers scored in a Final Four with 26 between the teams. Both teams had 13 threes apiece. Villanova wouldn't go away. Kansas tried to run away with it. And Kansas, Bill Self, Rock Chalk Jayhawk back in the national championship as they find themselves in the game again. David McCormick was the story for the Kansas Jayhawks inside as he had 25 points. He was bullying Villanova's low block down there all night. But it was about the three-point shooting for both teams. And as we said, Kansas advances. It is wild to see Kansas, Bill Self, in a national championship game with 5 level 1 violations and a notice of allegation sitting on the Kansas athletics director's desk. And just to see the state of college basketball. I'm not here to go back and compare LSU, Wade, Self, all this stuff. It is just wild to understand sitting down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the crusade that the NCAA was on to try and right the basketball program or at least change the reputation of the basketball program in Baton Rouge. And you look up and Kansas is playing in a national championship tonight with Bill Self facing very similar, extremely similar situations and allegations as the LSU basketball program faced, which came to an end a couple of weeks ago, about tonight's game, or more about the Final Four. You've got Kansas and Villanova, right? That game kind of figured itself out, and 81-65, Kansas ends up winning that game, and that score was about the pace of the game. At times, Villanova felt like they could keep it close, but they never felt like they had the firepower to really get over the hump and be able to compete with Kansas on that stage and for a moment like tonight on the line. They sure could have used Justin Moore. You hate to see a team get to the finish line, have a chance to get to a national championship game, and miss one of their top players like Villanova was. So credit Jay Wright and the Wildcats in Villanova for the way that they competed on Saturday. I thought that, facing the situations and the circumstances that they were presented on Saturday, they really did compete at a very high level and give Kansas just about everything that they wanted in that type of atmosphere. Now, for Game 2, this was the heavyweight fight, and this was billed as a Tobacco Road, Duke, North Carolina match, a first time in the NCAA tournament out of all of the matchups that these two blue blood college basketball programs have swung at against one another. This was the one. And the first one, the inaugural NCAA tournament game, which is wild, right? And it was Krzyzewski's last. It was in the Final Four. It was Hubert Davis's first year as North Carolina's head coach. And my biggest takeaway, the instant impact takeaway that I had from it, is that North Carolina now has the forever one-up on Duke, right? In this rivalry that goes back and forth every single year. 6 miles of road separate the campuses. You're a 5-minute drive from each other's back door. You talk so much shit to each other all year long. The regular season games, the ACC tournament games are billed as, they shut down the towns. They shut down the campus every time these two teams match up in the regular season in the ACC tournament. And now with Krzyzewski's life on the line, as Duke's head coach, if he loses, he goes home and his career is over.
Ooh, not so fast, my friend.
Maybe not. And North Carolina a chance to go to a national championship as an 8 seed with their first-year head coach, former player, in Hubert Davis. I really thought that North Carolina really gained kind of the one-up of all time on their rival, on their brother. That they ended the legendary coaching career of Krzyzewski on a Final Four playing surface. And that game was
so good.
That is what March is, right? That's what this tournament is. That's what you go into thinking you are going to get. Classic games every weekend, and for the most part, you've had a classic game every single weekend of this tournament. And on Saturday, it may have been the best between Carolina and Duke. I mean, about the 3:30 mark, I believe it was the last television timeout, the under 4-minute mark. They came out and those two teams were tied. I believe it was 68 apiece at that timeout in the junk, and you could just kind of feel this is about as good as it gets in college basketball. These two teams, 3.5 minutes left to play, national championship on the line. You're getting both teams' best punch, and really it was the first one that makes a mistake was going to lose. And Duke was the one that flinched first. Opportunity at the free throw line late in that game to knock down a couple of free throws and just couldn't hit. Mark Williams had a chance there for Duke to really bring that game back up to speed, but him going 0 for 2 at the line really, I thought, turned out to be the difference in that matchup. And North Carolina is making its 12th title game appearance, which matches Kentucky for the second most in men's tournament history. UCLA still has the most with 13. Over 70,000 in the Superdome on Saturday, and they were featured and were treated to a incredible treat of a college basketball game. Mike Krzyzewski's career, for now,
buried, dead, gone,
comes to the finish line on the biggest stage. Ends his career with 5 national championships, 9 appearances in the title game, 13 Final Fours. I thought Caleb Love was the best player on the floor, especially in the second half. He had 22 points in the last 20 minutes. He had 28 overall. He scored North Carolina's first 6 points of the second half and the final 6 points of the game. Love is now averaging 20 points per contest in the NC tournament games. It was just, that was high, elite, big-time basketball on the biggest stage. And I thought that the biggest winner was the sport. I thought that the NCAA, I thought college basketball was really the winner on Saturday because of, like we said, 70,000 in attendance, which hasn't happened for the last couple of years. What was it, 2 years ago that the last time this event really happened, where it was in front of people and crowds and tickets and people showing up? For this to be its first time back and have 70,000 in the Superdome and have a treat like that game on Saturday, what a win for college basketball. And now you set up Kansas, North Carolina tonight for an opportunity and a national championship on the line. I don't know if I can do this game justice in really talking about it. I never wanted it to end. I wanted overtime. And people are banging on Duke for the way that they walked off the floor and Duke didn't shake hands. I credit Krzyzewski, and I'm not a big Krzyzewski fan. I think what he's accomplished in the game is fantastic. I think what he's done at Duke's program will not be matched. But I do recognize that he's probably gotten there or has gotten there in a very similar fashion to a lot of the high-end coaches and high-end programs that we believe in their direction in getting there. What I'm trying to say is I believe Krzyzewski cheats. And I'm not banging on him for it, but for him to try and play the buttoned-up, organized, clean college basketball coach, to me, has always just kind of been a little fraudulent. But I thought it was pretty stand-up for him to stand up and hang out at the end of that game, shake everybody from North Carolina's hand, and really kind of exit the court in his own fashion. But, Duke leaving that game without shaking, that's an emotional moment for those guys. I'm not getting caught up in that moment. That game was fantastic. I know some people out there would like to see better sportsmanship. That type of stuff doesn't really affect me. Two teams that go lay it all out on the line, play with a ton of emotion, big game with a national championship, on the table, and you're on the wrong end of it, and you have some emotion after the game. I get it. I understand. But that is and was, to me, that was the best game of the tournament, in a tournament that has been filled with some real gems. I thought that North Carolina Duke game, I wouldn't mind if it was still going on. I mean, that was just big shot after big shot, clutch shot after clutch shot, guys stepping up who, the stage, the moment, you're really finding out who you are. It's what that tournament is made of. And I know that we bang on the NCAA and we're constantly criticizing what they do and who they are and how they function, but they get this right. They get the tournament right. And moments like that on Saturday are just more proof of just how cool of an event.
It was in the perfect spot, too.
Was,
New Orleans,
man.
like you said, the perfect host city, and I don't know how often I don't know what the rotation is or how they do it, but New Orleans always seems to prevail. Like you said, the walking area, the way people are able to kind of commingle with each other, especially for a Duke-North Carolina rivalry, to have them that close to each other again in the Final Four, have 70,000. I mean, that's a football stadium. Like, you could see where some of the seats were at the very tip top, and that's not a good seat to be in, but people were still packed to the gills to see that game, and very rarely do you get a game that was so hyped up and lived to the billing, and I think it almost surpassed it to be able to get down to the wire. And Caleb loved to have the onions to go up and run the shot clock down. They don't really run a play. He just skirts up for a three, bang, nails it, and then Duke is on its heels because they had no timeouts left. Coach K used them all to, I don't know, I heard some people say they used it to work the refs. There was a lot of talk. You could hear him on the broadcast saying that the UNC coach was talking to the refs, and one of them put him aside and goes, if you talk to me one more time, it's over. Like, you're getting teed up. Stop talking to me. So they went and grabbed another ref. Like, they were both, the game inside the game was there, and you talked about the handshake line. I think Coach K sent him away so he could have the moment. I think he sent his players off and said, you don't have to shake hands. My time to ride into the sun. And what he was doing was just the epic levels of what his brand has become, which is very me at the end of it all, where he's walking into the stadium last. He lets his players go out there. He's been doing it all year. But it's just such a bizarre way to end his career and his tenure, because there is a spots where he's probably the second best coach of all time in college basketball, but the way that this has played out has been very much Coach K in the spotlight. And for it to end like this was very tasty for somebody that didn't, he said it's about the kids. That didn't really seem that way whenever he's the one in the handshake line. He's the one doing all this. He grabs his wife, and they're walking off the court together, walking into the court together. They treat her like she's the first lady, like they're the president and the first lady. It's unbelievable. But it was just all a very surreal game and very, very fun to watch. And I don't think you have to wonder if North Carolina can get up for it again, because that was a big emotional bubble, and they have to turn around and play. You get one day off and have to turn around and play for a national championship now. Like, that felt like the Natty, but now you have to turn around and play a Kansas team who just played their A-plus game.
Yeah.
Probably the best game they've played all year.
Yeah.
And now you have to match up against a team that is very confident going in.
Yeah, it's a scary matchup tonight for North Carolina. In fact, right now on our poll, we have the question up, our Southern Eye Center poll question of the first hour, asking who you riding with tonight. Is it going to be Kansas or is it North Carolina? And I think Lloyd makes a really good point in talking about North Carolina's turnaround. They feel like they're probably the better team.
Right.
When you just talk about how they're playing, the kind of the momentum that they're on. They've been on this wave for it feels like a couple of weeks now, where they've been playing with a lot of confidence. I was reading where Hubert Davis on the first day of training camp practice for the North Carolina Tar Heels tacked a big picture of the Superdome up inside the locker room and told his players to tell their parents and friends to book their room and their flights, because they're going to New Orleans. And Hubert Davis's first season, he's got an 8 seed in North Carolina playing for the national championship, which is incredible. And this ride and this run that they've been on. But a lot like Lloyd just said, I mean, a lot of the emotion that was spewed on Saturday, a lot of the effort, the energy, how can you or can you
match that,
turn that around, in not even 48 hours? By the way, tip-off tonight, 8:20 Central Time. Who in the hell is doing that? Like, why do these tips just keep getting left? I always thought that the TV crowd, and maybe this isn't as big of a deal as it is now with streaming services and streaming devices and the way that you can kind of digest these events, but 8:20 tip-off time Central, 9:20 on the East Coast. I always thought it was a big push to get the East Coast watcher, to get the East Coast televisions. And for that thing to be tipping off at 9 o'clock, I mean, the thing's not going to be over till midnight on the East Coast. Just very tough to watch. And I hate that I sound so old, but I mean, an 8:20 tip-off for a national championship game just feels not right. But 8:20 is the tip-off time tonight for Kansas and for North Carolina. I hope I can make it. Really. I mean,
what do you think the end time will be?
I really think it'll be, 8:20. It'll probably end at 11 o'clock. I mean, it'll probably end.
That's rough.
So that's midnight East Coast time. Right? I mean, and I always thought that the big push by TV executives was to get the Eastern Shoreboard, because that's where all the population, that's where all the televisions are. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, obviously I'm wrong on that, because I would think that, like an ideal tip time would be 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. You know what I mean? Where you can maximize. I mean, a 10 o'clock ending on the East Coast, I don't think that's too much to ask for a national championship, right? And I mean,
I don't want to join you in this fight, but now that we work in the morning, it's hard not to. I used to be a big late night. I loved it because I like to stay up late, but now that the job has changed, I can see where you are, like 11 o'clock trying to wrap up, and then a little post-coital emotion after you watch the game. It's hard. If it's a good one, it's hard to kind of get back down to earth. It's hard to go to bed. So I don't want to be the guy that's also, I wish it started earlier, but it's hard not to be. I mean, 8:20 is late, but I think if it's entertaining, it'll be worth watching, I'd imagine. For a national championship, you gotta dig deep a couple of times for the people.
8:20 is a late tip-off on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, much less on a Monday. I mean, like,
should it be on a Monday? I mean, it always has been.
I would think that you would probably try to aim for Sunday night, because that's prime television watching. But when you have an event that has 2 days of action, like the Final Four, where you've got an all-day event in the first 2 games, and then you've got a national championship type setting, I think you really want to strike on those Saturday games, right? You really want to hit on those 2 games rather than, you give it an option of, you want ratings in 2 games or you want ratings in 1 game?
Right, that's what I was going to ask, is if, I guess they do that for the ticket buyer, right? So you don't have to get up and leave your seat that they have 2 games on Saturday, because if you want to stretch this thing out, you could do a game on Friday, a game on Sunday, But I guess to do double game or game Friday, game Saturday, however you want to picture it. But I guess you get people in there that get tickets to both, right? Or is it like an option?
Yes. Okay. You buy like a day pass.
Yeah, so that's why they do it, because you got that thing packed to the gills for 2 games. And
yeah.
I mean, Villanova, Kansas, I would imagine everybody was pretty much just waiting to see Duke, North Carolina. But I was just wondering in my head if there's a different way to format the tournament to where you get, 1 game on Friday, then, I get to wake up again and watch the game on Saturday. Like, as a TV consumer of it, that's what I'd have preferred. Yeah. But to have both games on Saturday is for the people, I'd imagine.
Hayden Paris says, why isn't it on Friday and Sunday? I know that Friday, from a television executive standpoint, is a graveyard. I know that Fridays are considered, but Thursdays are prime time watching.
Is this because of the NFL schedule?
So maybe you could go a Thursday, Saturday, or even a Thursday, Sunday, to give a little bit relief and time of.
Who gets the extra rest, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, if you're playing 2 games on Thursday, if you play the 2 games, you play the Final Four on Thursday, then you're giving both teams enough time to. I mean, a lot like what you're talking about, North Carolina's turnaround time after an emotional game. I mean, I guarantee you they would love to have one more day. You know what I mean? Just to chill and just to get into the rehab room and just kind of get their mind right and come down off this high of that game. I mean, no way anybody slept on Saturday night from North Carolina. And I'm not talking about because they were partying. I'm just talking about because of the adrenaline that you have after a game like that. I mean, you get out of that game at 10:30. You're back in your hotel for 11:30. You're still celebrating and searching social media and staying up on what everybody's saying about it until 1 in the morning. Finally, when the emotions start to settle, it's probably 2:33 in the morning. So yesterday, I mean, you're trying to go through walkthroughs and video and rehab and practices and all of that stuff. And the next thing you know, this ball's going up in the air. We're tipping off for a national championship, right? So
probably the hardest practice of the year yesterday to try to just. I mean, you have to imagine that he walked into boys, we gotta lock in again. Like, it's hard to imagine that they weren't still reliving a little Duke UNC, because I mean, they're college kids, and it was just probably the best game in the, I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, but that they've played in the last couple of years.
It was the best game of the tournament.
Yeah, best game of the tournament by far.
And the tournament has had some classics.
Yeah, egg on our face for saying this was going to be a bad tournament. We weren't into it.
Sorry.
Duke, North Carolina reared its ugly head, 50-50.
I love the fact that New Orleans is the backdrop too, man.
It's awesome.
It really is. I mean, New Orleans really does. It seems like they always produce in this moment. I don't know, like who decides all of this stuff in events and sports scenarios and situations, but New Orleans, it doesn't matter whether it's the national championship in college football, whether it's the Super Bowl in the NFL, or whether it's the Final Four in college basketball like we saw this past weekend. New Orleans consistently puts together a great host city, and it routinely puts out really good games and really good, like we saw on Saturday. That was as good as it gets, in my opinion, as far as the college basketball situation, the crowd, the games, everything that went into Saturday in the Final Four. Make sure you hit that like and share button. We appreciate you being here. We've got a promo going on right now from our friends over at Dead Soxy. Dead Soxy. It is live now and ongoing. All you need to do is visit deadsoxy.com, deadsoxy.com, and this weekend LSU is going to be battling Mississippi State in baseball. That'll be a 3-game weekend for LSU, Mississippi State. Katie has already backed out of her bet over in Starkville. She was supposed to go full baseball gear, going to wear a Matuk jersey, pants, LSU. She backed out of it a week and a half ago, came with some Jordy excuse, which I appreciated very much. She will not be fulfilling her end of the bet this weekend, which is fine. In true Jordy Culotta show fashion, that's all right. But we are giving our listeners a chance to walk away with some really cool socks this weekend. All you need to do is visit deadsoxy.com, and this is going to be after the Mississippi State series. So if you visit deadsoxy.com, you will receive 10% off for every home run hit by LSU over the next 3 games. So that means you could save up to 60% right now. This sale is out of the park. All you need to use is the promo code Jordy. You see it right there on your screen. All you need to use is the promo code Jordy to receive your discount at the conclusion of Sunday's game. The sale will run through midnight on Friday, April 15th. So tax day will be your final day to take advantage of
tax day?
Dead Soxy. Yeah, tax day, April 15th, bro.
Oof.
What do you mean?
Oh, not ill-prepared.
Time to pay the tax man.
Off those.
Time to pay the man, bro.
Dust off those books, I guess.
Golly, dude. I went and saw my CPA on the way out to. So make sure you use that promo code Dead Soxy, promo code Jordy, to pick up your latest pair, and you receive a. Yeah, right.
Stewie, you better learn how to
10% off. Of your socks for every home run that's hit this weekend for LSU Mississippi State.
So 10 home runs, 100% off.
Well, I think it's up to 60. I think that they're capping.
Always
it at
a
60.
little star, a little asterisk.
You don't know what Joe Bear could do, bro.
Exactly.
Joe Bear might make this thing.
Joe Bear, come on the show. Come on, mic'd up.
Mic'd up today, 11-1.
11-1. Supposed to have Joe Bear on, but we see.
Well, tough weekend for the boys.
Tough weekend for the boys, I guess.
Okay, tough weekend
Sack
for the
up.
boys. They dropped 2 or 3 over the weekend to Auburn. The same defensive miscues that have haunted this team all season long pop up once again and really take LSU down versus Auburn. Some highs of the weekend. I got to be honest, I wasn't locked in on the LSU Auburn series, but just kind of keeping
out
up
there
with
winning the title, dude.
On social media, it seems like the defense is just it's one thing after another.
I mean, it couldn't have been a worse ending for them, but it culminated in the ultimate, like, what are we doing here? Where they had the shift on, and the second baseman and shortstop ran into each other. Looked like Major League Back to the Minors when they had to put him on spikes and put the ropes around their waist to the shortstop and second baseman. Have you ever seen that movie? Major League Back to the Minors. Not the best one, but it's up there. It has Walter Goggins as the home run hitter.
Yes.
There's a scene where they have the shortstop and second baseman on a rope and a spike because they're twin brothers, so they keep running into each other going after the same ball. that happened to LSU on the shift. They ran into each other, and it's like, all right, it's time to pack it up. It's just it couldn't have been a worse picture for what's been going on for LSU baseball. It was just a great crescendo, and it's just a tough look. And they've been in every game.
Yeah,
and that
is the problem, man.
That's the problem. They're close to being good, but they're far away from it. Yeah,
they feel very close to being good, but they feel very far away from being good.
Good for a Dead Soxy promo because they are hammering the baseball, so that makes sense. But you could do one for errors also, and that would probably up the ante.
Last of Adon says it's not just the defense, but the pitching can't throw strikes right now either. Hayden Paris says Auburn was a good indicator of where this team stands. Going to be a rough one the rest of the way. Reed Rule says just started conceding Friday nights, move money to Saturday and Hilliard to Sunday, and LSU can start winning some series. They are constantly tinkering right now and trying to find their way and trying to find their stride, but they are being haunted by the basic by the basic fundamentals of baseball. I mean, like, I know you don't come here to hear us break down LSU baseball, but I mean,
whatever. LSU baseball and Pelicans talk. That's all we do.
It is. It's tough to watch those defensive.
It's just
miscues, man. I mean, just at that level, and it's one of the things that you take for granted that LSU has been really solid at over the last, since Maneri has been here. He's put so much emphasis on that part of it.
How important it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hugely important. I mean, I think that's, again, like what my point is. I mean, something like that you take for granted, and then you look up and you're bad at it. You're like, oh, shit. This is –
we need to work on
this. They got to get this right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the fact that they, and I think it came from, like, the shift of them running into each other. I want to say it can happen, but it shouldn't. But it's the fact that it was a second base and shortstop, and they had switched positions. And so I could see how it could happen. They're both uncomfortable in the shift, and the amount of shifting going on in college baseball has been very prevalent these days. But the running into each other, it's the perfect encapsulation of the defensive woes this year.
So Grambling in the midweek for LSU this week, and then they will travel to Starkville as they got a 3-game set versus Mississippi State over the weekend, where they will be at the Dude taking on the reigning national champs. As CJ says and asks, are we going to Starkville this weekend? We are not. Katie backed out on her bet, which canceled the entire trip for the program. We were planning on going to Starkville as a group, but in true Jordy Culotta show fashion, one of us is backed out of a bet, which
so we all back out of the bet.
Has canceled the trip.
We were going to get a suite. We were going to stay.
This is all on Katie.
Yep.
If we're looking for a fall person, this is Katie's fault for sure, in costing us our weekend to start. But I spent the weekend in Pensacola, and I got to be honest, bro. Pensacola is a sneaky cool city. I've always, a friend of mine, William Miller, who I grew up with, has a spot in Pensacola, and when we were like in high school, we would go there for spring break. Like early high school, when we thought we were
cool,
kind of 8th, 9th, 10th grade.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? Like
easy to get in trouble.
Easy to get in trouble, but a great getaway. But we always experienced Pensacola from just the beach, the tourist part of it, right? I mean, like all the chain restaurants and all the, the toll bridge and coming into Pensacola.
Is that where you hold your breath under the tunnel?
No,
that's
you're talking about Mobile.
Mobile, yes.
You're talking about Mobile, which you still have to travel through to get there.
I thought so.
Either hold your breath or hit relief med the whole time.
That's the new tradition.
Yeah, that's the new tradition. That's right.
Much harder.
Right.
Then you have the driver that always slows down a little bit. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, right. As soon as you see you like
ghosted that one.
But what a great town, man! Like really and truly. So Little J had a basketball tournament over in Pensacola, which shout out to the Red Storm. 5th and 9th grade go over there and win the tournament. Little J's squad go over there, win the tournament, play 4 really competitive teams and games, man, which is really kind of what it's all about. Played a team from Niceville, Florida, played a team from Bay Minette, Alabama, played a team from another team from Alabama. It's just a cool weekend to get away and play different teams, different faces, go over there and win the tournament. Little J balled out too, so it was fun to get over there and just kind of take that all in. Shout out to Chase Stanley and the crew from Red Storm for making that trip really cool and really fun. It was very well organized. The tournament was well flowing, and we were on the campus of University of West Florida, which is the third largest campus in the state of Florida. It's on so many acres of space there in Pensacola, and a beautiful campus, beautiful grounds, beautiful facility. But there was a lot of downtime in between playing. So on Saturday, the pool play wrapped up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we got down there on Friday and kind of went into old Pensacola, like the old school part of it, like downtown Pensacola, like into the city of Pensacola, outside of the tourist traps. Live music everywhere, food everywhere, and in fact, they were having their Jazz Fest this weekend. The Pensacola Jazz Fest, 39th annual, was going on this weekend. And Kelly and I were down there, and little Jay was with his mom. So when they weren't playing, Jordan was kind of rolling with his friends, and they were at the pool, and we were doing some of that stuff. But we kind of shaded off and went and saw the city, and went and saw the Jazz Fest, and went and ate some of the food. And I never knew how cultured Pensacola was. Just like the music scene is incredible. First, it's very New Orleans. It feels very New Orleans, and there's a lot of New Orleans vibes around Pensacola, whether it's the art, whether it's the music, whether it's the people. There's a very, some of the restaurants and the cafes are all kind of bayou type flavor.
Very
New Orleans
laissez-faire.
type, yes, very New Orleans type feel. And I was just very, not impressed, because it wasn't like I didn't think that they were, but I was just very surprised, pleasantly surprised at how cool of a city Pensacola can be. I've always witnessed and experienced Pensacola as very much a tourist. You know what I mean? Just
right.
a beach goer. Go
in
eat
and out the people that
absolutely.
they hate.
Go eat at the box chain restaurants. Go pick up my crab claws. And,
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
yes, yeah.
Like just everything that you're
Channel your inner
But when
Jameis.
you kind of dip into the town and you eat at some of the local restaurants, and you meet some of the local people, and you hear some of the local music, and you
Immerse yourself.
yes, absolutely, man. It was very cool to see, and very much a cool weekend of just a getaway, right? Like I don't think that we had any expectation of going down there and having any fun outside of the gym. I thought that I think that we kind of anticipated just going to spend the weekend in the gym. I mean, we were at a Holiday Inn near campus.
Pool?
Pooled it.
No, I'm talking about the kids. Were they allowed to
yes,
get it? Because I know
absolutely.
that's always been a sticking point for any travel team is get a win, go get in the pool. Now
There's
you're tired
4
for the
wins.
next game.
4 wins. What are we going to do?
4-0?
4-0.
Whoa.
4-0.
Lift a trophy.
Lifted the trophy. Jay had 27 yesterday morning in a game versus Bay Minette, Alabama. Maybe the best game I've ever seen him play wire to wire, which is real fun.
Oh, God. She's here to defend herself. I thought you weren't here.
If you're not coming in full baseball gear, you can get the hell out. Forget it, bro.
Oh, it's the wrong color.
Forget it. Forget it.
Bunch of jerks.
We're the jerks.
Who's the jerk?
I mean, you had a bet. You just gonna walk in here while we're live?
Oh. Do you want your microphone on?
Yes, we do.
You did.
Yeah,
You
Red
had
Stick
the
Sports.
jersey
Red Stick
and the
Sports has the
pants
gray
and
with the
everything
purple
ready.
piping, and then
good.
Ali Matuk was gonna give us a jersey that.
Oh, I didn't know. No one told me that was all.
Well,
ready to
what
go.
were we gonna tell you? You backed out.
I didn't back out. My child is leaving for Europe. If you think I'm gonna miss that, then you're out.
Well, yeah,
of
it's
your
the last time
mind.
you'll ever see her.
Stop it, Lloyd. That's awful.
It's good to see you. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. I've just been berated the entire drive from school to here, with
She
no
was
way
in
to
the
defend
chat
myself.
trying to defend
Yeah.
herself.
What?
Gets those
Welcome
bunch
in.
of terrorists in the chat.
I mean, seriously, y'all.
Got compared to Rico.
I did get to Puerto Rico.
On
I
what
love
part?
that.
No chest. Won't show up.
I get it.
Somebody called for my firing. Cool.
GoFlow IV brings you the Jordy Culotta Show every day. GEAUX FlowIV.com. Get in touch with GoFlow online. Best way to do it. They do take walk-ups. They recommend that you make an appointment. Easiest way to make an appointment is online. GEAUX FlowIV.com. GoFlowIV.com is where you find them. They're on Jefferson Highway. Look, they can help you out with vitamin IV infusion today. They can get you some more energy. If you were a little zapped from the weekend, or if you're looking to get this week started with a little energy, get over to GoFlow, GEAUX FlowIV.com, and we can help you out. Just by listening to the Jordy Culotta Show, you will receive 15% off of your first visit to GoFlow. All you got to do is mention the show. Just say you heard it right here on the Jordy Culotta Show, and they'll take 15% off of your first visit over there. Once you go once, you'll probably get a membership because it is not only is it day-changing, it can help you out through the week. It gives you a little energy, gives you a little boost, changes your mindset for the week. Get over to GoFlow, GEAUX, flowiv.com. GoFlowIV.com is where you can find them online at GEAUX, flowiv.com. Look at that. Little 1% better every single day over here.
Better?
Little 1% better every single day over here. Did we master video calls last week? Is that too bold to say mastering?
Yes, I would say too bold.
Okay. We have
but
graduated to the
3,000
3,000 level classes
Yes.
of videos. We have gotten out of the basic 101 level of video, which I thought was last week. We had a little bumps in the road, but for the most part, we'll call it a passing grade.
Yes.
And then now
we realized what we need from the students as well, or from the teacher.
Yes.
I don't know which one we are, but it seems like
Lizzie,
it has
you're
to
the
be
teacher,
on
bro.
Has to be on the iPhone. It seems like so. I sent that to Major Burns. Please log in through your iPhone because that's what worked best with Nate. So always there's something to learn every day from this video call that I wanted so badly and now regret forever.
No, you don't regret it. It's been really cool when it works.
I know it's very.
JJ
It
Pickett.
put me in a bad mood.
Hey, Jordy Culotta Show. We're watching from Costa Rica.
What?
Cool.
Wow, JJ.
Pensacola.
You
or
win, bro.
What time is it there?
Brian Burgess, good question. I would think that would be East Coast time, though. No.
No, it's our time. It's
I
still
thought
Central.
it was Central,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to
Central?
say
Still the
that.
same time. But like C. Bill Jr. said, JJ is super fan of the day unless I'm being held hostage in Costa Rica at gunpoint. I'm not watching YouTube before 8.
Having a little Mai Tai, a little Jordy Culotta show.
Costa Rica is. Do you have to have? Golly, I'm about to show my.
I'm
You
right
have to
there with
have
you. I have
what?
no clue. Passport?
Yes, you do. It's
You
another
do.
country.
Oh,
So
annexation
it's
of
not
Puerto
a-
Rico.
it's not
Dude,
a
the little
US
giants.
It's not a U.S.
No.
It's a U.S. territory, isn't it?
No, it is not.
See?
Annexation of Puerto Rico.
Costa Rica.
We're talking
Oh.
about Costa
We're
Rica.
talking about Costa
Oh,
Rica.
Little
Where
Giants.
did you come from?
I don't know, dude.
Where'd Puerto Rico come
Wake
from?
up.
Wake up. Driven from LSU.
Brandon
Smooth
English,
sailing.
what up, Jordy? My daughter's team ended up finishing second place in their soccer tournament in Pensacola over the weekend. We met Brandon English at the team hotel on Saturday.
Cool.
BG, Randy Lanois over there, kind of holding court at the Holiday Inn on campus. Brandon English
None
came
finer.
in from Lafourche, South Lafourche. I stepped onto the elevator and turned around, and he was kind of waiting on the elevator as the door was closing. Jordy Culotta Show, I love your show. Watch it every day. Ding! You know, like the door. Oh, okay, cool, go, yo. And as we came back down, he and I were able to share a couple of just kind of exchanges on nice to meet you and how he listens. He's down in Lafourche, watches every day. He's a YouTube subscriber. He's a podcast subscriber. We appreciate everybody being out there. It's always good to get away and meet with some of the listeners and see some of the listeners and their family and their fun environment and just kind of talk sports with them. And on a day like Saturday where North Carolina and Duke played in such an epic college basketball game, it's one of those deals where the lobby's full of people. Everybody's down at the bar. I think BG greased the bartender like $300 to stay open till the end of the game.
Of course he did.
Yes, in true BG fashion. But what a cool weekend it was.
Yeah,
and
Pensacola is cool.
It
Old
is.
Pensacola is cool.
Have you done Pensacola outside of the tourist
Enzers
area?
have a place there. We went for my birthday a couple of years ago, and we go with them sometimes, and it's really cool.
And you know what else is cool about it is like they hadn't sold out.
I know.
Like there's no condominiums. There's no higher. It feels very.
Old Florida.
It kind of feels
Old
like
Florida.
yeah, it does. It feels like Florida as a kid, where
Yeah.
I mean, there's still like
It's not 30A.
It's
not 38 at all.
Woof.
I know.
But like they still have like the camp style houses on the
Yeah.
beach. You know what I
That
mean?
is the best.
That is the best.
Plus,
bro.
it's so much closer to get there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
only like an hour, a little over an
3.5?
hour difference, but like that makes a huge difference not to have to go past Pensacola onto 38.
Wow, it's
that
6:50
area.
in Costa Rica right now.
Oh, it's an hour
I
behind?
mean, it's an hour behind.
Oh, I thought it was Central Time. My bad.
But
Puerto
yeah,
Rico?
Puerto Rico is East Coast time.
Right. Or Central.
Yes. No, East Coast.
Okay. We should visit and figure it out.
I've been a couple of times.
Ah, sweet.
Puerto
Not
Rico?
to Puerto Rico, Costa Rica.
Which one's better?
I've never been to Puerto Rico, so I can't speak on that. But I love Costa Rica.
I've been to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is it cool?
I was on a cruise,
Ooh.
and we got off for like a day.
Cool.
I thought it was awesome. Yeah.
I've just never been on a cruise. I feel.
Me either. I never want to.
I don't
You know
think
what?
I want to.
I'm out on the cruise.
Ever.
I figured that's a
I'm
tough
out on the
spot for
cruise.
you. That's
It was a
shocking.
well, I was very young.
Okay. What's that? How young?
17, 18.
Is that when you probably started to realize I need to have I need to have a way out?
I need my own quarters. I need my
Yes.
own car.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Need
Like,
my own
this
boat.
is-
On the boat.
Out at sea is not my spot.
There's nowhere to hide, dude.
But I will say that one of the like craziest, not craziest, but like being on the back of a cruise ship like at night by yourself, dude.
Did you do
it
like
was.
the Titanic thing?
No, I
King
didn't
of the
because I
world?
didn't. You know, I wasn't as
Paint me
seasoned
like one of your
then
French
as I was
girls.
then. But I just remember I met a guy from like we met like I was kind of like hanging out, like a guy was like around my age, and he was from the Bronx,
Ooh.
New York, and he had
Packed
brought
his own
some-
cold
he had-
cuts.
He had brought some relief med on the.
Oh, what a move!
That
On
is
the
a move.
cruise, right? Like with the family, and I remember being
Like years ago,
This
that's a
guy,
serious
I was
bro.
gonna say, this is an
I mean, this
offense.
is like 97, 98. You know what I mean? Like we're going to jail. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
geez.
Like we're
And not in
felons.
America.
We're felons, bro. You know what I mean?
Get your passport.
And we were like on the back, like relief medding, and the shit started spinning. You know, like we were kind of boozed at the
Yeah,
time.
which because you don't know.
Yeah, you just didn't know, man. And I was like, I'm out on the cruises. I'm done with the food situation on the cruise.
Terrible.
It's like all
Terrible.
you can eat, right?
Well, I
All
mean,
the time?
it's just a buffet. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the banquet scene.
Ugh. That
It's
does not work for
it's the
me.
frozen chicken and the asparagus spears that you could
Hospital
throw as
food.
darts. You know what I mean?
Kill a man.
Probably like well drinks all the time.
And then, like, you know, I mean, the more you think about a cruise,
Will drinks water.
the more
Yeah.
you think about what a cruise is.
It's gross.
I mean, it's just a rolling dormitory.
Yeah.
I mean, where it's just
Free ice cream though.
better be.
So Costa Rica is Central Standard Time, but they don't observe daylight savings time like normal
Gotta
people.
figure
They
it
don't
out.
do daylight
Say it
savings
again?
time. Costa Rica is on Central Standard Time, but they don't observe daylight savings time
So they're
like
an
normal
hour-
people.
Some way. Right now.
They're an hour behind right now,
Ah,
That's smart.
like we should be.
Right.
If we
is that
were
going to start
normal.
happening?
Yeah, 2023.
They say they're going to.
They passed it.
Keep. Well, I don't think it's. Well, the president still has to vote on it, I guess, but I'm sure he'll agree.
It's
It's the worst decision ever.
Did I see where Congress passed a recreational marijuana bill?
Yes, they did. Yes, they most certainly did.
What a fight
People,
again. The
wake
war on
up.
drugs.
Might go on a cruise
I
again.
mean,
Get to spinning.
even that couldn't get me on a cruise ship.
Nah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Poseidon. Have y'all
I'm
watched
with you.
Poseidon? I mean, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'll never get on a cruise ship in my life. Or Poseidon Adventure.
No.
The
I don't
remake.
even know what that
With,
is.
with
I
the
know
wave
out.
comes
I'm
and
out,
flips
though.
the cruise
I'm out.
ship completely upside
God
down.
of Water.
So it starts flooding from the it's
Top
upside down?
down?
and it starts flooding up. So you're making your way to the bottom of the
Bottom.
ship, which is sticking out of the water.
Because
my
you got to
God.
find
it's one of the worst movies
Oh my
ever.
God, I'm out.
because
ever.
of that, or it's just actually a bad movie.
No, because of that. It's horrific.
Just freak you out.
Watching
Yeah.
people drown to me, I can't watch that in a movie.
Jeff and Kenner, is relief med still $199 for the initial consultation? It is, Jeff. Mention the Jordy Culotta show, and you'll save yourself more money when you sign up for relief med. All right, coming back with us in the second hour. Come back with us in the second hour. We will start off with Major Burns, LSU injured safety. We'll ask him about his prognosis going into the offseason. We'll ask him about what he is learning from the sideline as one of the veterans on this team and in the locker room with a new coaching staff here. And we'll ask him about this leadership committee. We've heard a couple of things about the new leadership approaches that Brian Kelly and his staff have been pushing on LSU football. It'll be anxious to hear Major Burns, who is in that leadership role, what it has been like here under Kelly's direction in just the short term. Make sure we come back with the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure to hit that like, share, comment button. We appreciate you being here on this Monday. We'll be back with you in a couple of minutes here with Major Burns of LSU football as we discuss the latest on spring and get you set for the second hour here as the Jordy Culotta Show each and every day is driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Check out our friends at GEAUX.Chevrolet.com, GEAUXChevrolet.com online. If you're looking for used cars, they got them down here at Go Express Auto Sales on the corner of Florida Boulevard and Sherwood Forest. Or if you're looking for brand new cars out in LaPlace, stop in and see Go Chevrolet. GEAUXChevrolet.com, GEAUXChevrolet.com is where you can find them.
Jordy hating on cruises while he's all gray-beard hanging out at the frat house.
Frat house.
I don't know, but it's like the best quote in there right now.
I was in an AAU basketball gym all weekend, man. What are you talking about?
I love that. We should turn some of these chats into like a coffee table book, honestly.
Absolutely.
All right, come back with us. Major Burns next here in the Jordy Culotta Show.
At the frat house. What were you doing this weekend, dude?
With your great
Scout's
beard.
honor.
Looking to book a dumpster but no idea how? We've made it quick and easy for you. Check out our website at moralesrolloffs.com. Let Morales Roll-Offs know your desired delivery date, and finally, provide your contact details. To make payment, look out for an email invoice with all your booking details. On delivery day, our driver will notify you through text and email that your dumpster is ready and on the way. Now you know how easy and convenient it is. Call Morales Roll-Offs at 225-427-0000 for your dumpster.
Southern Eye Centers, located at 6859 Jefferson Highway right here in Baton Rouge, has been serving your eyes for over 40 years in the Capital Region. They offer friendly service in a helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. If you want more information, log online to southernyecenters.com. That is southernyecenters.com. Stop in and check out their beautiful office located on Jefferson Highway right here in the capital city. And remember, each time you walk in there and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Centers will take 25% off of their fantastic selection of sunglasses. All you got to do is mention the Jordy Culotta Show. Check them out. southernyecenters.com and located at 6859 Jefferson Highway.
Hey y'all, it's Mikey from Mic'd Up. Catch us live every Monday and Wednesday, 11 to 1. Talk gambling, talk sports, have a ton of guests in here, get a little perspective from the athlete side of it. We got Lloyd in the house, Jay Mitch is in here a lot of the time. It's a fun show,
Looking to
great
book a
show.
dumpster?
Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you don't like it, it's fine. Make fun of us, it's okay. Just get us out there, share us out there. We're having fun, we want to share our fun with you. Like I said, Mic'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Every Monday through Wednesday, 11 to 1. Catch us live on YouTube, baby. See y'all.
Welcome back here to a Monday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Remember, stop in and check out our friends over at Edward Jones. Daniel Newman down in New Orleans over the weekend, brought his daughter down there for a lot of good college basketball, and saw the Final Four on Saturday. He'll be back there tonight. In fact, I don't think he left New Orleans. He's staying. He didn't. I think he's coming back tomorrow.
Yes.
You can call him at 225-261-8262. He is working today, even though today is National Championship Monday. You can get straight directly to him by calling him at 225-261-8262. Remember, Daniel Newman is an experienced financial advisor. He has advised us on all of our finances since over the last year and a half, and has been a great return and very easy to work with him. Call him directly, 225-261-8262 is the phone number. And remember, you can email him very easily at daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. We will talk to Major Burns here in just a couple of minutes as we link up with him here on this Monday morning and get set for another week of LSU spring football. We'll also look forward to our reports from, I believe, somebody is walking in the studio here. I believe that was, is that Noah?
Is it a surprise
that
guest?
that was BD. I heard a dog
Okay.
sneeze.
Bo.
But want to get, of course, our practice report from Saturday morning, which was really cool for LSU football to allow the media in like they did for an entire practice. And if you caught any of the videos that were coming out, great job by our crew who was there, and Stewie, Noah, all of, that were out there, got just about everything that you were looking for, man. If you were looking for the reps with quarterbacks, you saw Brian Kelly and Mike Denbrock working with all 4 quarterbacks. You got a chance to see Malik Neighbors working one-on-one in some situations now that he's back at practice. The offensive line, the defensive line, really and truly, if you're looking for some of the images and some of the videos that came out on Saturday morning, please make sure and get over to our social media. And if you're not already following us there, set your alerts. We have it all over YouTube. We have it all over our Instagram. We've got it all over Twitter. We got it all over TikTok. Make sure that you are keeping up with us on.
Nobody uses Twitter, Mom.
On
yeah, Sophie. So embarrassing.
On social media, at Culotta Show is the handle to keep up with us for all the things that are coming out. But really cool stuff
the
on
TikTok
Saturday.
looks fabulous. I was watching that in a group of people, and some people were like looking over my shoulder, and I was like, "You want to keep going? All you got to do is keep scrolling. We got the whole practice on here. It looks so great. They've done a great job, and they discussed it all last night on their Clout Chasers thing. Clout Demons.
Clout Demons.
Clout Demons, not Clout Chasers.
I heard a lot of good stuff about Nussmeier.
The transfer?
No, Garrett Nussmeier.
I know. Isn't he going to A&M?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Starting for Jimbo.
Am I in the portal?
But as far as the quarterback race goes, and I don't think that you'll determine
we got Major.
Or find out anything here early on. Let's go to Major Burns, who is our guy, Baton Rouge native out of Madison Prep. Hopefully getting himself right and ready to play in the fall. I know it's tough for him right now, not being able to go through spring with the rest of his dudes and the rest of his teammates, but have heard a lot of cool stuff and a lot of good stuff behind the scenes about what Major is doing to get himself ready for another season of college football as we log in now. Now he's sitting under the Kobe Bryant poster. Is our guy, Major Burns. Good morning. How are you, bro?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Let's start with you first. How is your health? How is everything up to this point in your rehabilitation?
Everything's going good. I'm 10 weeks out of surgery. I'm just staying right with Miss Mickey, Bo in the training room, just trusting it, going day by day.
Mage, the one word that we have heard from Brian Kelly, or at least everybody that we've talked to since Brian Kelly has been running the program, is accountability. Seems to be the overwhelming word that everybody feeds back to you when you ask about what it's like to be in Brian Kelly's program. You were a leader in that program. What has it been like to be under the direction of Coach Kelly for the last couple of months?
I mean, it's been awesome. He come in with a structure. He know what he want to do. He has a plan. I feel like if we just listen to him, everything go well. Honestly, he want to do. He got experience. And just listening to him.
Tell us about the leadership programs that he's put in place. I know that you were one of the leadership. You were one of the leaders of one of the new leadership strategies that he has tried to implement. How is he trying to find the leaders on this team, and how have you, somebody who has been injured and not been able to be on the field, kind of accepted that role?
I mean, with Coach Kelly, it's more of the off the field stuff, really. Like, he looks for his leaders to be accountable. He wants us to go to class. He wants us to be just better players and better humans off the field. Like, he really cares less about football. I ain't gonna say. I mean, obviously he wants to win, but
sure,
his objective is to make sure like we're a better overall person.
Do you buy into that?
Yes, sir. I buy into that.
Yeah. Tell me about these teams, these structures. I've heard that there's, I believe you guys call it SWAT teams. Where you've got leaders, and I believe you're one of the leaders, and even though you can't get on the field and produce, you still have to be accountable for all of the things that you're supposed to be doing.
Right. Well, we have 10 SWAT teams where your points are tracked. You can get good points by staying after in the weight room, go to games and stuff like that. And he track our SWAT points by if you go into class, if you're taking your vitamins, if you're eating, just stuff like that.
So he's just trying to keep you accountable, just keep you up to speed.
Right.
What's it been like with Kerry Cooks and Coach House with the new defense? What's kind of the feeling on that side of the ball?
Oh man, It's crazy. Coach House, he coming in and he's instilling grit. The main word, grit. He want everybody to fly around. Coach Cooks, he's very smart. He know what he's doing, and it's just been awesome being around those guys.
A lot of new faces in the locker room, a lot of new faces in the coaching staff. You were there last year, so you kind of saw where LSU football was coming from. How's that transition been in kind of getting everybody new in the locker room and breaking the new coaches in, just as far as them feeling comfortable?
I mean, honestly, what I've been noticing is everybody who come in, these guys want to win. Like these guys honestly want to win. The new guys we got, they want to win. And it's been a smooth transition. Everybody really knows everyone. These guys are from Louisiana, and they just really want to come back home and put on for LSU. So I'm down with it. And anything those guys have ever need, I've been here.
How is your timeline? When do you expect to be full speed again?
Honestly, they want me to take it day by day because it's my second surgery. So I know I should be 100% before summer. I should be able to get back at the end of spring and start doing individual and stuff like that, get back in the groove.
A lot of new faces in the defensive backfield. Anybody standing out?
Greg Brooks is having a heck of a spring.
Transfer from
Greg
Arkansas?
Brooks is having, yeah, he's doing his thing. He's very nice. He's catching a pick every practice, and he's very humble.
Mage, you were a transfer last year into the locker room. The transfer portal was new then. Now it's kind of it is a practice in college football that everybody is using and bringing new people in. How does the chemistry work in breaking in some of these new guys, even though they're not freshmen? I mean, you got the 15 freshmen that signed that came in, but you got a lot of transfers that came in the class as well. How does the chemistry work inside the locker room with you've got veterans and you've got rookies that are all new faces?
Right. And let's just go back to the SWAT team. Honestly, I feel like that's helping us most because it's player led. So the 10 captains, that's who's doing all the communicating, and everyone is on the team. So I feel like the communicating, that's bringing back chemistry. That's a hard question to ask. You got to move down.
Major, are you a SWAT leader?
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
You got the strap with you? I saw y'all on IG with y'all got the SWAT guns. You stay strapped with that thing? You got it next to you?
Yeah, for me.
Oh, you got the strap with you, the SWAT team gun. You still carry that thing around? I saw you on IG with it.
I'm looking around. I don't have my teammates heavy.
Check under the couch.
That's minus 5 points right there, Major. That's 5 points docked off.
No, literally.
Hey, what was it like last week having Tyrann Mathieu around?
Man, it was crazy. It was like seeing a legend, like right in front of your eyes.
Yeah. What was it like?
It was like seeing, honestly, I couldn't believe he was.
It was like
but
seeing
I had
who?
to play it like I had to play it smooth. I was in the front row, but I was like, man, this is crazy.
How about those wide receivers? There's a lot of expectation for these wide receivers, these young wide receivers that we saw last year, whether it was Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, Jack Besh, even a guy like Chris Hilton is expected to kind of bust through. What have you seen from that group here in spring?
Man, I love the wide receivers. Those guys bring the juice every day. Coach Hank got those guys. Malik Neighbors will be a problem. Brian Thomas is a problem. Chris Hilton a problem. Kayshawn Booty a problem. It's just exciting to see Jack Besh. Those guys have talent from top to bottom. So I can't wait to get to competition with those guys.
Once you get right, what is your emphasis on improving from last year to this year? When you get back on the field, what are you really focusing on for your improvement to get better before the fall?
Right. Honestly, I want to get my weight up. And I'm hitting the film room hard right now just to increase my mental so that when I get out there, I can just know what everybody on the field got to do. I can know what's going on before it happened. And honestly, I want to get more twitchy. Yeah. Increase my twitch.
How is Quincy Wiggins, a young Madison Prep superstar, another one? coming through LSU. I know that he graduated early out of Madison Prep, and now he's here during spring. We've seen him on a couple of one-on-ones with Will Campbell out there looking and going at each other. How have you helped him with the transition of high school to college, both academically and from a football standpoint?
Right, Quincy, I've been knowing Quincy for a long time. Quincy comes in here every other day. I just try to tell him, like, no matter what, if you have a good day or a bad day, just keep going, just keep stacking, and just look forward, like, no matter what. Because sometimes when I was younger, I would have bad days, and I let it harp on me. And then going into the next day, you think about that. But you just got to know that you're young, and everything in the spring is going to be new. Every day is going to be a new day, so you have to embrace it all. That's what I try to tell them.
Get healthy, bro. It's great to catch up with you, man. Next time we'll get you into the studio soon enough. I know you got an 8:30 class. Go enjoy the day and the week. Thank you for starting your day off with us.
All right, family.
Later, man. There's Major Burns checking in from
So cute.
He's
from
the best.
LSU football, a former Madison Prep standout, and now an LSU safety as he gets ready for another season and getting himself healthy here to go into to his junior year of college football. So thank him to stopping by here. That brought to you by RMB Builders. Remember, our friends Rhett Bourgeois over at RMB Builders can get you set up today. RMB-builders.com is where you can find them online, and they bring back all of our podcasts. So if you missed today's show live, make sure you subscribe to our podcast to catch up with our audio-only stuff, and wherever you get your podcast from, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, anywhere where you are signed up for podcasts, you can check out the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure you are subscribed there, and all of that is brought back to you by our friends at rmbbuilders.com. rmb-builders.com. You can have a house built by Rhett Bourgeois and his crew, or you can have your house remodeled if you have a commercial project that you need help with. They are commercially licensed, so they can help you out over at RMB Builders, rmb-builders.com. rmb-builders.com. Cody Boudreaux with a $5 super chat says us to send that to Major Burns to change the battery in his fire alarm, which I did not hear.
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear it. That might be
I'm
yours.
immune to those at this point.
Fire alarms?
Good Lord. Like
Yours
that.
go off a lot? Yours
Oh,
beep a
I
lot?
took them out my house.
Oh, really?
If I go down that way, that's the way I go down.
Lloyd,
But the
you
beep,
could perish in a fire then.
that would be fine. But
Perish.
it's not perish.
I
Thank
don't know
you.
why I said that. That is kind of
Yeah,
weird.
that was a high-end
I
word.
don't know where that
Yeah,
really came
$10
from.
word for a $2 man.
Lloyd, please don't perish.
Just die, you
Just
son
die.
of a-
Yeah, I'm just gonna run and roll over and die.
All right, so
The
Katie
queen
is
perishes.
backing out of the bet once again.
I'm
Just
not
an
backing
update
out.
for this weekend. Speaking of the weekend, Tiger Woods is a game time decision.
Oh no, he is
He's always
not.
a
On the
He is.
Masters.
game-time
He is.
He's all in?
He is all in.
He's playing it up.
You don't know.
I do
You
know.
don't know him.
I know
He's all
Tiger. Do you remember having that conversation though? Like that was when we first started the show, almost
Yes.
after he got in that wreck.
Yes.
And we were even I was like a little. We asked the question, do you think he'll ever play golf again? And
We
it was
did.
hard to say yes, but we all agreed if there was one person that could do it, it would be Tiger Woods, a man
Yes.
that loves the challenge, and it looks like he will be a go for Augusta.
We
Woods
spent a lot
tweeted
of time
out.
on him in the beginning of this.
Sure, absolutely. Woods.
Woods.
Excuse me.
He's probably smoking
me.
some to
He
get
needs
you
to
know,
be.
and not driving.
I mean, at this point, you got to have a driver.
He got out the back seat on the
course
way
he has a
to
driver.
Augusta
He did?
yesterday.
Good.
So
Yes.
Good.
good for him.
I mean,
we're
Ty-
learning.
Billionaire status usually means a driver, bro.
Absolutely.
We'll have a driver one day, Jordy.
I'm in.
A Jordy Culotta show driver.
Lloyd, go get your CDL license. Tiger Woods tweeted out on Sunday to continue my preparation and practice
You don't want me driving.
on Sunday that he said that he is going to be a game time decision for the opening round of Augusta, as that will crank up on Thursday. But really the practice rounds, the par 3 course, and everything that goes into getting the event off and moving, I'd imagine will feature the former champion. Is it 5-time?
At Augusta? I believe so.
Five.
Five green jackets.
Yeah, 5.
2019 was the last one. 2019 may be the best year of all time. If you're an LSU
Sure.
golf fan, got the national championship
An
in the Tiger
LSU
Woods
golf fan.
Masters. It's unbelievable. For me, it was the best year of all time, sports-wise.
According to my brother, that's when everything went downhill, when LSU won the national championship.
Spoken like a true
That was the
state
last
fan.
time
It
you were
is.
allowed to go to really anything.
That's
it was like the
right.
last event
It is
before
that was the last event.
Mac Daddy
Or
C
wait,
came
was there Mardi
around.
Gras that year? There
No.
was yes, there was. There
2
was
years
Mardi
ago.
Gras that year.
Yeah, that was the super.
Oh, that was the spreader.
Yes,
Yes.
that was it. And then March
Last
hit.
sporting event.
Yes, last
Yes.
sporting event.
Actually, they did have Mardi Gras in 2020. That was the super spreader.
Wait.
Yes.
Oh yeah, but that was the
Mardi
national
Gras,
championship.
Mardi Gras
Game.
of
2019, 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it had been,
That
same
was
one,
that
same
year.
Mardi Gras.
It was January, February, and then we were over after that. We had a fun January, February, and then everything went
Did
downhill.
we?
Well, didn't we?
So did-
National championship in Mardi Gras.
That's what I'm saying. Boy,
Yeah.
did we.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So Tiger won the Masters in
2019.
April of 2019. Mm-hmm. Okay, so way before we even knew who COVID was.
Yeah, Uncle C was
COVID,
not hanging out with us yet, and then he crashed. The drunk uncle
Right.
came over and and then he had his cousins come
I mean,
around.
Kobe was still alive when Tiger won the Masters. Is that right?
Oh wait.
No.
Really? No.
No, I don't think.
April of 2019.
19. I don't know the.
Yes, he
The
died.
date.
He died January of 2020.
Okay, that's when
Wait,
it
he
really went
did?
downhill.
Oh crap.
Because I think his last sporting event that he was around for was the college football national championship.
Kobe,
Kobe.
was he there?
No, he wasn't there, but I mean, it was like the last major
Event.
event.
Yeah, January 26, 2020
He's still alive. Yeah.
is when he perished.
Perished. That's a perished.
That
That
is
is
a
a
parish.
perished.
There was a golf tournament going on when that happened because that's what I was watching, and then I got hit with the news that I don't believe you.
It was Pro Bowl Sunday.
I think so. Yeah, because I think Spieth was in contention, so I was watching it, and then somebody told me, and I was like, I don't believe you. And then immediately it cut to, they're like, we have breaking news. I was like, oh no.
Oh God.
Yeah,
And
you
it
don't
was
want to
like,
believe that.
ugh.
I remember exactly where I was.
Me
at the
too.
time, everything. It was Pro Bowl Sunday for sure.
It's always the tragedies, like the tragedies that you remember where you were.
It
Very
is.
rarely is it the good things. You're
The
like, oh, that's
celebrations.
cool. Yeah,
That's
you remember,
true.
but the tragedies always seem to be like, I know exactly
is
where I
that?
was. I don't know, it hits harder.
Yeah,
guess so.
it's harder for sure.
That's sad.
Make sure, as we said, RMB Builders, subscribe to our podcast. Make sure you are following on YouTube for the latest in what's going on in and around the show. I did want to give I know last week we were talking about the Will Smith and the Chris Rock slap that dominated the Oscars and dominated pop culture last week. I did want to bring some attention and give a congratulations to John Baptiste, who won 5 awards last night at the Oscars, including
At
and
the
Baptiste is at the Grammys. And Baptiste is a New Orleans native, graduated from St. Aug down in New Orleans, and he also cleaned up last night at the Grammys. Won
Wow.
5 awards, including Album of the Year. He also won Best American Roots Performance, Best American Roots Song, Best Score Soundtrack for Visual Media, and the Best Music Video for Freedom. I don't know if I told anybody the story. Lloyd, if I send you images, if I send you something, you can post them, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, email them.
Email them. Really?
If you,
Give me.
He's like, never mind then.
Give me.
because if you text them, then I just have to email them to me.
Yeah.
All right, give me 1 minute. Let's
Okay.
take a break. I'm going to email you this, and we come back.
I'm
get a
excited. I don't
cool
know what it's gonna
story.
be.
What is it
Cool
gonna
story of
be?
the John Baptiste Freedom video, and we'll be right back here on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Centers, located at 6859 Jefferson Highway right here in Baton Rouge, has been serving your eyes for over 40 years in the capital region. They offer friendly service in a helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. If you want more information, log online to southerneyecenters.com. That is southerneyecenters.com. Stop in and check out their beautiful office located on Jefferson Highway right here in the capital city. And remember, each time you walk in there and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Centers will take 25% off of their fantastic selection of sunglasses. All you got to do is mention the Jordy Culotta Show. Check them out. southerneyecenters.com and located at 6859 Jefferson Highway.
Looking to book a dumpster but no idea how? We've made it quick and easy for you. Check out our website at moralesrolloffs.com. Let Morales Roll-Offs know your desired delivery date, and finally, provide your contact details. To make payment, look out for an email invoice with all your booking details. On delivery day, our driver will notify you through text and email that your dumpster is ready and on the way. Now you know how easy and convenient it is. Call Morales Roll-Offs at 225-427-0000 for your dumpster.
Hey y'all, it's Mikey from Mic'd Up. Catch us live every Monday and Wednesday, 11 to 1. Talk gambling, talk sports, have a ton of guests in here, get a little perspective from the athlete side of it. We got Lloyd in the house, Jay Mitch is in here a lot of the time. It's a fun show, great show. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you don't like it, it's fine. Make fun of us, it's okay. Just get us out there, share us out there. We having fun, we want to share our fun with you. Like I said, Mic'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Every Monday through Wednesday, 11 to 1. Catch us live on YouTube, baby. See y'all.
Really?
All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Or if you're seeing those images that are going across your screen right now, that is John Baptiste 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago from yesterday, April 3rd of 2021. On the same day, or a year later, he wins a Grammy for the video of the year. This is actual video from John Baptiste shooting the Freedom video in the middle of the Marigny on a Sunday morning last summer, or last spring. Kelly and I were down in New Orleans. We're riding the bikes. We're going to drive, or we're going to get some breakfast, and we're just riding around the Marigny, riding around the quarter, and we just roll up on this music video. Like, we just ride up on this music video, and we asked the guy who we're standing next to, is it cool if we stand here? They're like, yeah, as long as you stand right here, you'll be out of the shots. And we sat down for about 45 minutes, 45 minutes, just kind of sitting on the curb, watching people work, watching Baptiste kind of interact with everybody. He had his grandfather, he had his dad, he had his aunt, he had like his whole family out there, a part of the video. If you've not seen it, you can get on YouTube and find it now. And it actually won a Grammy last night.
That's so cool.
For the video of the year.
And you knew who he was when you happened upon that?
No,
Oh, really?
not at all.
I mean, as an artist, did you know who he was before?
When we found out who it was,
Okay.
we kind of started getting going. And you'll recognize a lot of the songs that he sings. I mean, his acceptance speech last night for the album of the year, I thought really kind of gave you an insight on who John Baptiste was. I mean, you know, obviously the Grammys are the Super Bowl for music. It's the biggest night in music. And Baptiste kind of talked about what music means to him. It's like a spiritual experience. So to be on that stage last night was just kind of, you know, it was almost like a kind of part of the process. I mean, you don't expect it. You don't expect to win all these awards, but for the passion and how much love he has for music and what he pours into it, it seems like somebody like him would definitely be rewarded for as much and as creative as he is. But Kelly and I we got home a little late last night, so we were kind of sitting down and grabbing a late dinner and watching the Grammys. And Baptiste was named Album of the Year, and they were like, this is one of 5 awards that John Baptiste has won, including Video of the Year. We both kind of like looked at each other and were like, you think it was the... And I mean, we kind of got to looking it up, and it was about the Freedom video that they were shooting last spring or last April in the Marigny. And I mean, it was cool that we were like just sitting on the curb watching this thing being shot, and there was nobody around, like the whole neighbor. It was like an early Sunday morning, so nobody was really moving around. But just the fact that that was the best video in music of 2021
really
and 2022 is really cool to know that it happened in New Orleans. You know, just by a happenstance, we just kind of rolled up on it, and to see Baptiste be rewarded for his hard work, and then to hear his point of view on music was really cool last night. It was a big night for New Orleans and New Orleans music, especially Baptiste, who, as we said, won 5 of the awards, including Album of the Year, and Freedom was the video of the year. So
what's that about? What Freedom, like, what's the song or video about?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the background of the song, but it has a feel to it of just being yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of living your life. And I mean, they have, like I said, in the video while we were there, they had like little kids like doing the jump rope on the sidewalk. They had the old men playing the cards, who was actually like his grandfather sitting in the chair.
That's cool.
And then he had like the old cool cars, and it was very New Orleans. I mean, everybody was kind of dressed in the vibes and the dancing, and it was just cool to just sit there and as just as a spectator. I mean, you were almost like a fan of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were just kind of sitting on the curb. We had great seats. We were out of the shot, so they were like, yeah, you're cool here. I mean, you can just watch as much as you want. And then they actually took a break and like went to either lunch or took like an early morning break.
It's a Type 5.
And we kind of like bounced around the set, like looked in the car and like went on and it was awesome, man. I mean, it was a fun day. And then to see that, that really kind of, that be celebrated exactly a year, like exactly 365 days later. Because Kelly and I were looking for videos and pictures in our phone from that day.
That's a fun game.
And it was, I'm like, oh, here it is. I was like April 3rd, 2021. And she's like, so basically a year ago. I'm like, not like exactly a year ago.
Wow.
We were on it. So it was cool. Congratulations to Jean-Baptiste and John Baptiste and the entire crew a part of that, because that was fun and cool to watch. Second hour poll question is up right now. Compliments of our friends over at Southern Eye Center. Remember, if you mention the Jordy Culotta Show over at Southern Eye Center, they take 25% off of their fantastic selection of sunglasses over there. Tell Dr. Ann Shaw that you heard it right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Stop in today and check out the selections of sunglasses. They've got prescription sunglasses. They've got cool sunglasses selection to choose from. If you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, she takes 15% off of that initial price. Stop in and see Dr. Ann Shaw on Jefferson Highway. And as every day, they present our poll question from Southern Eye Center. And the second hour poll question is, do you think that Tiger Woods will compete in the Masters? Simple yes or no trivia or poll question for you up right now.
Big on yes or no.
Simple yes or no.
Yeah.
of our friends over at Southern Eye Center. How was your weekend, Carpool Queen?
It was good. We had nobody had any practices or anything Saturday for the first time in I can never remember. And so we hit everything in Baton Rouge. We did the flower festival. That was really cool.
I saw that. What made you think of me, I guess?
That one, the rocket.
I saw that.
Immediately.
I did start laughing.
I was like, wait, Sophie, hold my beer. Hold on. I gotta tag Lloyd in this immediately. She was like, Lloyd, and then she looked at it and started laughing. She's like, oh. And I was like, oh God, you get it too?
My pervert friend.
I know, exactly. It was fun. We did the beer fest without kids, but that was really cool. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
Ran into the Boyces over there hanging by the tin
No,
roof tent.
oh yeah. Shocker.
I know. It was really cool though. I mean, very
rural life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really cool event. But the only food they had there were Zapp's chips.
Oh, they just want you to get tanked.
Just free bags of Zapp's because Zapp sponsored it. So
Wow.
when we get it,
Zaps and vomit.
I know. I mean, and people were hammered.
Well, there's
what,
nothing to eat.
what do you want us to do?
People, I learned this, and the Boyces explained it to me because they're novices with this. But people,
Novices? Or experts?
Experts.
Yes.
Sorry. People make.
Nice trying the big word though.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate.
People make.
I appreciate your effort.
Take it down a peg. Well, come back onto our playing field.
Now get back
did
to your
not
true
finish.
intelligence.
People make necklaces with pretzels on them,
What?
and you bring them in. Like David was like, "Where do they sell those pretzel necklaces?" And Juliet was like, "No, people that travel around to Beer Fest put necklaces on made of pretzels,
Like bread.
Yes, and just eat them while they're walking around tasting."
To not get so smashed.
Huge nerd alert.
I don't know
thing,
if pretzels
though.
are going to get the job done
No,
for that.
they're not.
That's not the
Yeah,
quite
loaf
the
of
gut
bunny bread at
sponge
the
you
beer.
need. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, do you remember doing that in I was gonna say junior high and high school, whenever kids would get hammered, stuff bread down their throats. I don't think that's gonna help, dude.
Toast.
Toast. Yeah.
Make them toast.
I guess it absorbs alcohol.
Well,
is
yeah, I
what
don't think
they
it works that way, but
No,
we
it does
sure
not.
thought it did.
Yeah.
You're just
Everyone thinks
eat
that.
some bread.
Yeah, that's why they're eating pretzels, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's just
That's not
No, I think so.
I guess, but I would
think
imagine
it
it's more of a
is.
counter of how many beers you had. That's what I would think.
Oh.
It's you put it, or I would add one each time I had a beer. So you're like, oh god,
Well,
I've
no,
had 12.
you eat them off
right,
of the necklace.
but I guess they're eating one to know how many
Okay.
beers they had.
Okay,
They probably
maybe
had to
so.
count.
Maybe
Put
so.
a 12 pack.
Yeah, and you'd be like, all right, I've
Yeah.
had this many that are left.
Maybe so. Some good beers, but that mix of all those different beers, I was not feeling well. after.
I
The
bet.
next
For the
day
rest
or
of the
during
day
the day?
or night. Just
Oh,
the
yeah.
rest of that day. And
See, I can't get beer drunk. I hate it. Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to.
All day.
Yeah.
But
I can't drink beer.
No.
I mean,
I rarely do it.
Yeah. I'll drink some keg beer
I'll drink some Heineken.
all day.
yeah, that's right. Heineken.
But no, I don't like a beer fest. Like where did they serve in like little cups, like little
Yeah,
tastings?
when you came in, you got your little cup like this big, and then you just take it around to everywhere.
Oof. Only one cup?
Only one cup. So I felt weird about it because I was like, well, what do I do if I don't drink the rest of this taste? And David was like, you just pour it out on the ground. And I was like, I feel bad doing that. Like,
For the birds.
is everybody just dumping beer on the ground, like, and walking through it? I don't know. It seemed wrong. So I would hide.
I mean,
and,
people
like,
were throwing up all over the ground, I'm
I
sure.
guess.
Dude, just potato chips and beer.
Isn't that weird?
Oh, that comes up easy,
And
though.
there was
Spring
just
break?
one
Yeah.
tent of potato chips. So you had to, there was one spot that you could get your chips.
All flavors of Zaps?
All flavors of Zaps. So you
What's
did
the
at
flavor?
least have that.
I'm a big Cajun crawtator and
Spicy Cajun
voodoo.
crawtator.
Yeah, I do those. Those are the only two that I'll
common.
gander in. What
Me
do you
too.
what?
I
You
got
have
regular.
Really? The
What
blue
do you
bag
got?
is the sneaky best one.
Salt and vinegar?
Not the salt and
No?
vinegar. It's the
they'll help you in the chat.
I think it's the cream onion. I think it's sour cream and onion.
Oh.
I think the sour cream and onion Zaps. And then there's the dill pickle, the green bag, which I
Yeah.
think is sneaky good too.
Oh,
Well,
I
they
hate
also have
anything
a new
pickle.
Creole
Not for me.
Really?
tomato
Yeah.
one, and I couldn't get that one. Everybody kept snatching them up.
Which one?
Creole tomato. They have a newer flavor, Creole tomato.
I've never even heard it.
Yeah, it looked good. Never got to taste it though.
But probably the
Everybody's
right
watching
answer is the original.
Yeah, that's what I went with because all the beer is so many different flavors. So I was like, I don't want to mix it with a bunch of random chip flavors.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh yeah, that's a tough combination. Did
Yeah.
you see Hogs for the Cause?
Yeah.
Boys showing out.
They did.
That in New Orleans. Speaking of, like being able to host things, having two major events
Yeah,
in the same city at the same time seemed like a blast. We might have missed
did.
the ball. We might have dropped
We
the ball
did.
on that one.
We
We
did.
did.
We did. Mincy was in his element. He had Dave. He
Absolutely.
had Portnoy. He had the Prez down.
Portnoy.
Team Portnoy
Mm-hmm.
was fantastic, and it looked like he really enjoyed the city as well. I know that there was a big push for Mintz to get him down to New Orleans and just kind of see the momentum that Mintz has built down here for Barstool Sports and really around college baseball and around his brand. And by all accounts, really, Portnoy and Barstool are just over the moon of what Mintz has kind of brought them back as far as return goes. So shout out to our guy, Ben Mintz, who's continuing to do great stuff with Barstool Sports, and over the weekend really flexed at Hogs for the Calls as he had his crew down there and saw Holden Mayo. T-Bob was down there, and Mintz was down there. Dave
Megan making
Portnoy,
money, and
Megan making money. It was all
Mr. Making Money.
the whole
He's
crew.
a trip.
He ain't going anywhere without her.
No,
She's
no.
not going anywhere without
Without
him.
him.
Is the better way to say it.
why is that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They just travel together everywhere.
I think he would be a fool to not go to all of these things
That's
for
right.
basically free.
Right.
Yeah,
Like he
that's
gets
true.
the VIP experience. He
That's
gets to be
true.
like, that's Megan making money, and I'm her husband.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's like, yes, good for you, dude.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yes.
Right.
And you get to do all the VIP stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a really cool showing and a really cool.
I wonder
what
if they
looked
have like an au pair. Because they have kids. I mean, she's
They-
traveling all of the time, or they are traveling all of the time.
They have to.
Maybe family.
They have
Maybe their
to.
family
They
lives
have to
there.
have some
Aren't they
type
in
of-
Lafayette?
They're in Lafayette.
Okay.
Yeah. LSU baseball, as we said, fell over the weekend to Auburn. They will play Grambling this week with Mississippi State on deck. And LSU basketball lost their final player on the roster, and Moani Wilkinson, who hit the transfer portal over the weekend. So it is a complete rebuild for Matt McMahon. I mean,
Literally.
from the absolute bare bones of the program to rebuild it. When you look at what Moani Wilkinson putting his name in the portal kind of meant for last season's team, the entire squad, the entire roster is not coming back, which is just wild to think about in any collegiate sport, that you've got to first and foremost go field a team at LSU basketball. So it is wild to see now that Wilkinson is out. There are no remaining scholarship players from this year's team on LSU's roster. Wilkinson was a 4-star recruit from Bishop Gorman out in Vegas. He started 30 games for LSU this past season. He was more a defensive stopper than he was anything else. He averaged just about 4 points and 3 rebounds a game. So Wilkinson out at LSU basketball. We are trying to link up with Matt McMahon and have him on over the next couple of days. So we'll ask him.
Would he come in to the studio?
Maybe. Yeah,
That would be
possibly.
cool.
Yeah, possibly. About the challenges that he has down here in Louisiana. So looking forward to really getting a chance to talk to Coach McMahon and really get his point of view and mindset on how he's going to build this thing. What's going to be the method to the madness of trying to put together a roster and really recruit LSU basketball right now when you just don't know what the message needs to be from a salesman standpoint. We will ask Coach McMahon. I believe that Tasman Mitchell is going to stay on staff in a different capacity. I'm not sure if he'll have an assistant title to him, but I do believe that he will keep Tasman Mitchell on staff in some capacity with LSU basketball. But his staff continues to evolve and continues to be completed here for year one. But the challenge is great, no matter if you're facing sanctions or not, to have to put together a complete and total roster, in one off season. It seems like a long time, but to have that task and kind of endear and indoctrinate yourself to the university, to the athletic program, to the athletic administration, to everything that goes in to being LSU's head basketball coach, to being tasked with having to build the roster. And I mean, build the roster is a hell of a challenge. So hopefully we'll be able to talk to Coach McMahon about that in the next couple of days and just what he's learned in the short days on the job at LSU and just how extreme the challenge ahead is for the Tiger basketball program. Other side of the spectrum is the Pelicans. If you paid attention to the Pelicans over the weekend, lost last night versus the Clippers, 119-100, and Paul George was in his game back. He was 5 of 7 from three-point line last night, and he had 15 points. All of his points came behind the three-point line. C.J. McCollum had 19 as well. He had 4 assists for the Pelicans in a losing effort. With this win, the Clippers have officially clinched the 8th seed. They are joined by the Pelicans currently in the play-in seeding. A Clippers loss and a Pelicans win in their first play-in games, respectively, would set up a potential Clippers-Pelicans play-in game for the 8th seed. So Pelicans still playing and looking for life here as they come down the stretch of the end of the regular season and see if they can't do enough here to get into the playoffs. They have played tremendous over the last couple of days and weeks, including another win over the Los Angeles Lakers as they won over the weekend on Saturday night, 114-111. C.J. McCollum had 32 points. Brandon Ingram had 29 against his former team. Jonas Valanciunas had 17 and 12 as the 9th-place Pelicans, who won and has won now 6 of their last 9 games while dealing with dealing with just all types of adversity coming down the stretch here. And now we'll see what they do with Zion. I know our own Mikey Matuk, our Pelicans insider over here at FM Digital Media,
that news breaker,
has sources within the Pelicans organization that tell him that Zion could be back this week. And that would be tremendous, man. I know that they're in Sacramento tonight. They are back home midweek before going to Memphis and closing out their regular season against Golden State with the potential of jumping into the playoff game, into the playoff seeding for the play-in game. Has just been tremendous here under first-year head coach Willie Davis. And to beat the Lakers again like they did, 114-111, and both LeBron and Anthony Davis were playing.
That's crazy, right?
I love that, man.
I do too. It's crazy.
Davis had missed the previous 18 games with a sprained foot. He was out again for another lengthy amount of time. He's been hurt for 39 games this season. He's been healthy for 37. It's his second straight season with major injury problems.
Yeah.
They went 4 and
Major?
14. They went 4 and 14.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it major,
with
right?
with Davis being out again. You're probably right. It's probably unfair to
Softest
label
player
it
of
major.
all time.
I mean, I hate to speak ever, but
On what?
Just in general, like
How-
I agree. I don't like to use like the the caveat of this is the
It's
best,
the best.
team of all time.
Yeah.
This is
It's
but
the worst.
Anthony Davis
He's
might be
he's
the
but
softest
Anthony
player
Davis,
of all time.
He's got to be the softest superstar
ever.
I mean, just the amount of game, and it's not even about his physical softness, really. I mean, on Saturday night, he had a fan removed from the game that was on the second row sitting courtside because he was yelling something at Davis.
Really?
Street
Yeah.
clothes.
What did he yell at him?
Who knows? Probably that he was soft. Probably that he was street clothes. Probably that you'd overplay. Probably that you're terrible. Probably you're overpaid. Probably, I mean, that you're ripping the Lakers off. I mean, something to the effect of play.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making all this money. You're this big dominant force, but you never play. And then when he does play, and he tries to come out and play hero in a game, you gotta have him. You really need. I mean, the franchise is on the line. They need a win. And Davis is getting fans thrown out of the game for stuff that they're saying to him on the floor. I mean, it's just. I mean, this guy.
I know, but
I mean, whether it's street clothes on his physical stuff or it's just the mental midget that he really is, not being able to just. I mean, bro, you're a pro athlete. You never play. When you show up, you don't think you're going to get heckled? I mean, you make $100 million, man. You make nearly $30 million a year, and you're never there. I mean, it's one thing to do it in New Orleans where you can hide out and wear T-shirts and mess with the media. You know, but when you're in a major market in Los Angeles, like you wanted to be, you're the one that bullied yourself out of New Orleans, signed with Clutch, signed with LeBron, let LeBron kind of dictate where you were going to be. Next thing you know, you're in a situation where nobody respects you. I mean, nobody really at the NBA level, you could see the disrespect that Anthony Davis has and just him walking out there. Nobody, I mean, people kind of like side-eye him and smirk him when he walks up to him. I mean, it's just, yeah, when he's playing and he's right, he's a force. But at this point, I couldn't bet on him being right or being a force anytime soon just because I don't even know if he can get there anymore. Forget physically. Mentally, he seems like he's done.
I hope that's not true.
Ben Simmons is a good one.
Softest superstar ever. But Simmons has always been soft. I don't think that this is anything new. I mean, Anthony Davis played in Kentucky. He led his team to a national championship. I mean, early on in his pro career, you could see signs of it, right? I mean, it was almost like this breakdown, both physically and mentally, just from a competitive standpoint, has been over the last 5 to 6 years, like the last couple of years in New Orleans,
and certainly now in
now
Los
in
Angeles.
LA. I mean, he's totally taken advantage of this LA and contract that he's got with the Lakers. I mean, it's
Afro looks fire though.
he looks great.
He looks cool.
Coach,
He does look
he's
cool.
rich.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we
Damn.
tell? The first
I
thing
know.
that rich people do is glow up.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, what would we expect? I mean, he got money. He got, FU money to where I can look like I want. I mean, I'm gonna take care of myself first. And I don't know, man. It sucks to watch because he's so good.
He is so
and
good
he's such a
when he plays.
incredible talent.
He's an avatar.
But it's just
Not frequent enough.
no way, man.
Did y'all see KD though yell at that guy that was heckling him too?
Yeah, but KD is.
Katie lets you know that he hears everything that you say.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he'll hop on the internet and let you and tear you down and
He
then
does.
log
But
off.
KD's not getting people thrown out of the gym.
No,
No.
I don't think KD's soft.
KD's he's more like FU.
He did.
Yeah,
That's what he
he'll-
did.
yeah, tell you
I
right
saw
back.
him. I
Yeah.
saw him. Like, did he tell him like shut the fuck up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sit down.
Yeah, he's
It was
like-
awesome.
Yeah.
During the game.
During the game, just turned his head and
Yeah.
said it to him.
Right.
That
It has
was
to
great.
feel. I don't know if you're a fan. I guess that's the interaction you're going for. You just want him to say something to you,
Yes.
and you're like, "Hell yeah, I got Katie to talk to."
I know.
Or
Cool, man. He told you to shut the
never-
fuck
I know.
up. Like,
like when Russell Westbrook.
yeah, he wants to fight you.
Yeah, I mean, like you gotta watch yourself in today's age, man. You
You
know what I
do.
mean? Like, I mean, there's a clip of LeBron that
What's going on with this thing? It's the third time.
there's a clip of LeBron a couple of weeks back going back and forth with somebody in the stands, and LeBron's got so much to lose that he would never. But I mean, like you catch a 8th, 9th, 10th guy on the bench where you say something, and a lot of these people who are sitting courtside are saying like personal stuff to him,
Right.
Like they know either a girlfriend, a wife, a kid, somebody's name where they say out loud that gets them to like turn around, like, and next thing you know, I mean, if you say the wrong thing
At the
and
wrong
you catch
time.
this guy on a bad day, and Russell Westbrook, who has obviously had stacks of bad days over the last couple of years, if he decides, I'm going to kick your ass. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to take all his money. I'm going to say, okay. It's going to be tough to do that in a body cast. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you pick a fight with one of these guys and they really, like, decide, hey, I'm going to take care of you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to whip your ass. And it feels like that is coming. Like, as much interaction as the athlete or the entertainer is having with the consumer, it feels like it's only a matter of time before somebody, you know, on the consumer side continues and wants to push their luck. Like, you know, like you say enough to get them to react, then let me see if I can say enough to get them to swing. And if they do, you know, I mean, they kill you. You know what I mean? Like if Anthony Davis cocked back and hit you with everything he had, he could. He could. But if he connected with you, but Russell Westbrook would not slip and fall.
Russell Westbrook wants all
he
that
would
action.
not slip and fall.
Cool.
He would body
I'm more
you
terrified
up
of Russell Westbrook than
and hit
Anthony
you
Davis.
probably five
Yes.
or absolutely. I bet you Russell Westbrook would beat the shit out of Anthony Davis.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Would put him like in a pretzel, you know, before Anthony be tapping out on Russell Westbrook.
Ankle.
You could talk Anthony out of it before he made it to you.
Yeah. Big Cat from Pardon My Take has an idea that you should be able to fight, like the players should be able to fight one fan a year.
That'd be
just
awesome.
just to restore order. And I totally am on board with that. Like it should have I'm gonna call you out to midcourt.
Donnie
Me
T
versus
says
you.
Donnie T says the
God.
brawl in Detroit changed all. That's why fans are getting a kick out of it. Chris Terrell says bring back Ron Artest. See, I think that too much time has now gone by since the Palace and the
forgotten.
Malice where you've almost forgotten that this stuff can happen.
Yeah.
And I know that there's
People
video
want it.
evidence to it, and there was video evidence to, you know, fights in sports, not as necessarily of people going into the stands, but I mean, there's a clip of Rudy Tomjanovich getting hit in the middle of court, you know,
Basketball.
in a basketball court that still to this day, if you see it, I mean, it is
Jarring.
it is body curling, like, oh my God, how hard this cat got hit. But I mean, there are mile markers along the way where this stuff can happen. And the Palace at the Malice is or the Malice at the Palace is the extreme.
That's going to happen again.
But it feels like people are flirting with, you've forgotten that these people are human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say something that pisses them off or you throw something at them and they react, the next thing you know, you've got 6'9", 240 running downhill at you pissed off.
That used to fight all the time.
And if they get their hands on you, it doesn't matter how. There's probably I would say in a full capacity arena, let's say LA on Saturday night at the Staples Center, or it's the Crypto Arena now,
Yeah, Staples Center.
that there's probably 25,000 people there, conservatively. There's probably, in my opinion, every night in a 25,000 seat capacity stadium, only maybe one or two people in the entire arena, and I'm talking about the security, the help, everybody who could square up with a pro athlete and feel
Confident.
a little confident.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can hold my own, or I can take a punch from them.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
The 99 other percent that's sitting in there will get killed, including all of us. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
dead. If they
Perished.
strike you,
Perished.
perish. If they catch you, if they strike you, you've got no defense. You're not fighting back. You're not swinging. You're
Put him in
not
a guillotine.
connecting. You're not doing, I mean, like, it is over. Like that dude who tried to square up with Artest on the court. You know what I mean? Like look at it like, bro,
What are you
are
doing?
you out of
Are
your
you doing?
mind? Are you nuts?
Remember I watched Malice at the Palace for the
It's
first
so
time
good.
last year? It was the first time I'd seen it. It was the most fascinating thing I've ever seen in my life.
And then the guy that squared up with Jermaine O'Neal tried to paint the picture that he wasn't at fault. And then he watched me. He's like, "Bro, we've all seen the video. You run onto the court and hike your jeans up like you're some
Yeah,
Billy
right.
Badass.
Turning your hat
Yeah,
around.
you're like, come on,
Yeah, like,
Come
what's
on.
up? What's up? What's up?
this."
Oh, my
Whack!
God.
Shut up.
If he doesn't slip, he kills a man.
I want it to happen
No doubt.
again.
And it probably, yeah. But I feel like this age of fan, they have it.
Have you ever seen
They have it-
have you ever seen Shaq's punch he threw at Brad Miller?
No.
Brad Miller as a Chicago Bull. Mm-hmm. And Shaq was a Laker. And Shaq is he catches the ball on the run and Miller shoves him like that in the back, and like Shaq's like tumbling towards like the front row.
Mm-hmm.
Runner test again in this.
And Shaq comes behind Brad Miller and throws a haymaker where he winds up. And if he hits Brad Miller, he's in jail because he kills him. I'm telling
But
you.
he didn't hit him?
He missed it. He
Didn't connect?
missed him.
Right on the ear.
He missed him by,
Inches.
I mean, he missed him by a pubic hair. I mean, like.
That is a random
like-
measurement.
I was going to say nut hair.
That too.
Manscaped, come back.
That's right. But I mean, the sound of that going by your ear. Can you play that?
Hell
my
no.
You can't play that.
Why not? Where's it
Google
from?
Brad Miller as a bull with Shaq,
Well, I'll do the GIF. I don't think that gets us in trouble.
Okay.
and it is, bro. It is terrifying to see if he would have connected what could have been to Brad Miller's life. Brad Miller would have been a vegetable.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he would have been. He would have not been cognitive. It feels like if Shaq he haymakes it, he winds it up like from his hip.
He goes twice.
Oh, he punches twice?
I mean, when he cocks back and thinks about it, then he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. And he misses.
Because he could have done this a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like Shaq could have. Look at that. Look at this.
Goes
On
for
the
like
run.
the- he
Look
thinks
at
about
this.
it.
Oh
No.
my God, dude. Oh my God.
How did he miss him right there?
Ooh!
He just kind of turned. He got lucky.
Jeez.
15 right there is Ron Artest.
No doubt.
Always around.
Look,
it.
Artest is going to get Shaq. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
Look how baggy their clothes are. Isn't that funny?
Brad Miller has to count his blessings every day. Like when he sees that, he's like,
Oh,
almost
yeah.
wore one. Woo.
Can you imagine?
Oh
No.
my God.
Cannot imagine. I'd be dead.
Oh,
Anybody
yeah.
would be dead.
Bear24 says, "Don't forget the punch that Shaq threw at Barkley." They
He hit
were
Charles Barkley?
They were a little bit more compact that time. Like he was a little bit more far in. He was a little bit more tighter to Barkley. Barkley threw the ball at Shaq's face, and Shaq just kind of like walks him down.
Did he hit him?
Yeah, but he's a little tight to him where Barkley can kind of like shake. I mean, if he connects on you with that, that's 330 pounds of muscle behind that thing. That is like momentum is running at you. That would be like a car hitting you. It'd be like a punch buggy, like hitting. That'd be like a Volkswagen upending you.
I can't imagine that. Man.
But yeah, I mean, he missed Barkley too. He missed.
Charles just bounced the ball right off
he throws
his
it
head.
right on his head.
Why did he do
He throws it
that?
right
Why
on
did
his
he throw
head.
the ball
Because I think
at
he
him?
said something to him. I think
Oh,
Shaq.
yeah.
I think
They really don't like each other that much.
God.
no, they really don't. And that's from like those days is when they didn't like each other. Like now they've kind of like patched up the relationship because they're on TV. But when they played, they hated each other. Ultimate Royer. Shaq really can't fight. Remember, Charles Barkley took him down. Yeah, I mean, he like wrestled, slammed. I mean,
So Charles Barkley came back and hit him?
Oh, yeah.
Like
well, he
that
didn't
was
hit
an
him.
ongoing
He
fight?
didn't
Little
hit him.
fight.
He like picked him up and put him to the ground.
Okay.
He body slammed him.
This is during a game? In the
During
middle of a game?
Well, Barkley's with Houston, right? Yeah, like he's with. See, like Shaq punched him on his head, and he just throws the ball
It's like
at
he
Shaq's head.
slaps him on his forehead, right? Is that what he was doing?
He got the low man wins.
He did, bro. Leverage. Look, he just boom.
I mean, he just goes down.
If you can get Shaq off his balance, I'd imagine that's a big man.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right, we appreciate you being here on this Monday. Thank you for starting your week with us. Make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment button. Remember about our promo with Dead Soxy. Don't forget, for this weekend's LSU Mississippi State series, Dead Soxy is taking 10% off per home run hit by the Tigers over the 3-game set versus Mississippi State. They're going to cap this thing at 60% off, but you can receive 60% off of Dead Soxy socks. All you got to do is use the promo code Jordy. Use the promo code Jordy to receive your discount. Look, he's looking at him like, you ain't going to do anything anyway.
It is like that. It is like that.
That's such a Charles Barkley move. It's like, I'm going to hit you right on top of the head.
I know.
No, mic up. No, I want to get a report on Saturday on this full practice. Noah Tingle is walking in. Our
Face. That's awesome.
does social media over here with the Culotta Show and runs the TikTok. If you're not subscribed,
Oh, he
him
does
TikTok.
more
Is
than
he
that.
hitting him though? It's like It's
No,
so
it's just
gentle.
a bunch of big men going to boop.
Yeah, it's just little gentle taps, basically. Is what it looks like.
It's a pillow fight.
It is like that.
We live over there?
Oh, yeah.
Noah, tell me what you saw on Saturday. Great work on the video. Great work on getting the practice coverage. How long was the practice, and what did you see?
Yeah, it was probably around like an hour and a half. We got to get film and media stuff for an hour of practice, really. It was like 11 to 12. We got to have the cameras out. And then we had to shut them down. We kind of watched some of the 11 on 11 stuff without the cameras. A lot of people have reported the Miles Brennan, Dre Jenkins touchdown. That was a 65-yard just laser. And he, like, rolled out to the right, stepped up, and just launched it, and it was beautiful. And so Miles looked great. He looked like the best quarterback in the room on Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he looked mobile. When they did a little drill, like, you could see, like, their releases, like they were just doing quick hits. And, I mean, he had the smoothest arm out of all of them, which I think a lot of people probably expected. I mean, he's been here for 6 years, and his arm talent was always kind of the highlight. Defensively, the safety group is what Brian Kelly highlighted, but the defensive line, in my opinion, is, I mean, there's not another group on the team that looks like that.
Yeah.
We got to see Quincy and Will go up head-to-head again, which was awesome. And you can see how raw both of them are, because really the ancillary parts of being a lineman wasn't there, but
It's just a fight.
the power. I mean, they're just going head up straight at each other.
A couple of bulls.
Yeah, and so I mean, it was cool to see. It was cool to be able to stay for the whole practice. Brian Kelly was definitely more vocal and active Saturday than he has been in any other ones. All the other practices, he's been like taking notes and seeming like calculated. But Saturday, he was yelling at them to stay up off the ground. He was calling players over and talking to them. And he was very interactive. And then especially with the offensive line, him, Denbrock, and Brad Davis are all three in with the offensive line and working with them on specific technique and other things as a group.
Campbell and Wiggins here going one-on-one on the practice field on Saturday morning here, if you're watching the video. Some people asking questions about the running back. John Emery, Corey Kiner, Marnie Goodwin, a lot of that rotation. Did you see anything there, or is there anything to report from that group?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Emery and Kiner are like splitting reps at practice, and then Goodwin comes in after. But, I mean, John Emery he's the number one back. I mean, I think that it's kind of set in stone that he's going to be the guy because they want him to be the guy. But it looks good to see them running him through, the tackles and run him through the line instead of just going outside. And
He looks thick.
swinging. He does. I mean, and if he can add that aspect to his game where he can run at you and not just run around you, I mean, he's a premier back.
I agree.
So I think he's got the job. He just got to take advantage of it.
Any coaches stand out besides Kelly?
Brian Polian is probably my favorite coach on the practice field. I mean, he is the most intense. And they were just doing some special team stuff. Like I know somebody had asked last week about like returners. Yeah. They were working out Kiner, Goodwin, Neighbors, and Hilton as returners.
I'd love to see Chris Hilton.
Me too.
Open field. Can he catch the punt though?
Oh yeah. They all did a great job.
Yeah.
And Cortez Hankton was working with them on that aspect. But then while the returners were going, on the other end they had just like special teams, like kickoff return type drill. And I mean, Brian Polian's flying around. They did like a gunner drill, and he's like getting up in them and clapping. And it was just cool to see his intensity. I mean, he might be the most intense person on the field, including the players.
Don't forget that Noah Kane will be an addition to that running back room too come summertime, as he'll transfer in from Penn State and bring another force into that room for running back. I feel like their running back room is an NFL room.
I agree.
Now with the addition of Kane.
Yeah.
I mean, if John Emery is as motivated and as physically ready as he seems to be here now in this part of his career, I think Corey Kiner is the best of the young class of running backs. And then you add in somebody who's got the established carries and experience, like a guy like Noah Kane, what he brings over from Penn State. That feels like a pro-ready room, now with the addition of Kane. And I agree with what Noah said on the defensive line group. I mean, that defensive line group looks as nasty as anybody in the SEC. I can't imagine that there will be a front four, starting four. And look, we're hearing good things about Jacoby and Guillory. Yeah. I think he's one of the names that we've left out. I mean, we're talking about guys like Mason Smith and Jaquelin Roy and B.J. Ojolari and Ali Gay as being those front four. And, the beautiful part about the group is really the depth.
Yeah.
Of what they'll be able to roll out this season. You know, I mean, we talk about guys like Quincy, but I mean, Jacoby and Guillory feels like it's his time. I mean, he's been in the program. It's now ready for him to take that next step. And from all accounts on Saturday, it looked like he had a really good day.
Yeah, I mean, the nose tackle spot is obviously something that's, it's his opportunity to take, because Mason Smith would be like a nose tackle, but, they want to move him around, have him on the edge some, just like they did last year, I'm sure. And so I think Jacoby and Guillory's got a shot to be the go-to nose tackle guy in the middle without Neil Farrell here anymore. And the other thing that's cool is having BJ as like an outside linebacker, kind of standing up while you have the other three on the line. And I think that's awesome. I think it's going to fit him well. And even if they do shift him back to having his hand in the ground, I mean, I think it just adds to his profile for draft day. If he can get it done this way and he can get it done standing up.
How's Nussmeier look?
He looks great. I mean, for somebody that's going to be a redshirt freshman, I mean, he carries himself like he's a 6-year senior. I mean, he just looks like he's having fun all the time. He's got a smooth throw. He's got a gunslinger kind of feel to him. But he doesn't look like he's out of it, you know what I mean? Like somebody that's like, well, I'm not going to have a shot at the job. Let me get out of here. I mean, he looks balled in. We got to talk to him in the press conference on Saturday, and he said it's a quarterback competition, and it's about being the best version of myself I can be. And then he addressed kind of the bowl game stuff, and he said a lot of people think like that didn't hurt me, but he said it was hard to watch LSU out on the field and not be able to play. And so, I mean, he looks great. He did that play right there. He kind of juked in and out and started talking trash to BJ while he's running back. And then Joe Sloan, the quarterback coach, ran up to him and like got onto him for not just running around and getting too fancy.
How about the linebackers? Josh White leaving, does that leave a void?
Not really. I mean, it looks like Mike Jones and Greg Penn are getting a lot of snaps. Baskerville was back out there on Saturday. And then Jared Small's still out there. I mean, I think those are 4 guys that are 4 experienced guys, except for Greg Penn. 4 guys that can get out and produce for you at that position. Plus you have a guy like Harold Perkins coming in. I mean, the linebacker room, there's not much of experience really other than Micah Baskerville when it comes to on the field, but there's a lot of talent in that group.
Anything else that we left out? Anything else that you want to mention from Saturday that you saw?
Malik Neighbors looks like the second best wide receiver on the football team.
Major Burns just said that Malik Neighbors is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, he in the clip he cooked Sage Ryan and then Fouché back to back. And I mean, he looked amazing.
That was a beautiful fade ball that whoever threw that. Was that Nussmeier?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
He put that thing in a bucket. All right, cool stuff. What's this week's schedule like for practice? We've got
Thursday and Saturday.
Thursday and Saturday. So an extended a time off this week. So we'll have Thursday and Saturday covered for you here. Our friends and our people, Noah Tingle and Stewie and everybody out there is doing bang-up work. Make sure you're following all of our social media, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of our Culotta Show videos from the practices are going up on our social media, and you can catch up with all of them there. Cody Boudreaux, $5 super chat. Jordy, what about Brian Kelly opening the entire practice up? Is this a new thing? That is a new thing. I've been covering the program for a long time, and the only time we've ever been able to see extended time and entire practices is when they would open it up to the students in spring. And bring them out there, and the students were catching punts and doing stuff, but you were never able to see team. I mean, even the limited time that Noah and those guys had last week, they still saw 11 on 11. That was something new. I've never seen 11 on 11 under Miles or under Ogeron. Anything that we could leave there and report back to. I mean, they were letting those guys run cameras during that. They were, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to get us in trouble. But I mean, they were letting them run, get B-roll during team segments, which is now look, I don't expect that to happen during game week. I don't expect that to happen during the fall, but it is very much something new with the media relationship with LSU football to be allowed the access that Kelly is giving during this spring drill. So you are able to kind of see personnel and some of the people that are out there and really making a difference here early on in Brian Kelly's tenure at LSU. All right, appreciate everybody for being out there and interacting with us. Make sure and come back with us tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Mikey Matuk from Mic'd Up will be here at 11 to 1 o'clock. Make sure you are subscribed and tuned in to his YouTube station over there at Mic'd Up, and we'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Have a great Monday. Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning.